Hi guys, it's Anthony here, or as well as most people know me as the Ant-Man. Just wanted to give you a quick heads up before the episode starts. At the time of recording this episode, in the UK, we're still under very heavy lockdown. So myself and some of the guys I do episodes with are getting a bit bored, and we decided to do an episode over the internet via web chat. So just a word of warning that the order will change throughout the episode. This is merely a temporary thing until lockdown has finished, and then we can get back to recording normal episodes as normally. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
You're listening to M.T.V.B. Podcast. Movies, TV, video and board games. This show may contain swearing.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the M.T.V.B. podcast. It's the podcast that talks about movies, TV shows, video games, and board games. I'm your host, Anthony, as well as most people know me as the Ant-Man. And welcome. This week's episode will be all about the movies that came out in the year of 2020. And I'm joined by a bunch of guys that love to talk about movies. Guys, introduce yourselves around the table, please.
Hi, I'm John.
Hi, I'm Goku. I'm a Sutra.
Hi guys, it's Gal.
And it's here, little Gal back in the house. Nice to see you guys.
Hi guys, welcome to be doing this over the internet. How are you?
Welcome back. We are back.
All good.
Bloody time too.
So we're obviously a little bit bored at the moment.
We're actually doing this.
We're actually doing this. We're giving it a try. I've explained to the audience we're going to give it a try. So
yeah, let's see how it goes.
Why not? Let's do it.
So, your movies of 2020, guys. You know, do you have have you got a list? Let's put it that way. Let's start off with, do we have a list first?
Yeah, I think we all got a list. But I think, do you guys think like 2020 films? There weren't that many good films in 2020. I don't know what you got. There wasn't a lot of good releases. I thought.
That's a matter of opinion, though, isn't it? So.
This is
I'm glad you picked top 5. I think it would have been quite difficult to have done maybe a top 10.
Yeah,
I struggled with top 5. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
Compared to the previous 2 years, because last 2 years there was a lot of flurry of good movies like Avengers and all that. But this year, last year was pretty quiet, I got to say. But I still managed to do a list.
Yeah, it's funny. It's because, I think, the time the lockdown, it's all to do with timing, isn't it, guys? Because when the lockdown happened, it was at the beginning of the year. But then I'm surprised that a lot of movies came out, and I'm thinking, how are they still generating all these movies? And I realized that a lot of the movies were kind of in post-production by the time lockdown had happened. Yeah. So they were finishing it off. Yeah. So still, there was some really good, badass stuff that was coming out in all formats, you know.
It goes to show how long the post-production takes. It does take a while.
Yeah. You still had your streaming services bringing stuff out as well, which kind of savored it, didn't it? So
exactly.
Yeah. So, guys, before we go into the top 5s, obviously we've got some questions for you. So, John, let's start with John. John, so 2020 being the year of us staying indoors, how much do you miss going to the movies last year, shall I say?
Oh, to be honest with you, I think we kind of got used to it, really, because it was a norm, wasn't it? And you don't miss things until you don't get them, you don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
And not being able to go out anywhere is such a drag. But to be honest, I think I missed the cinema more than anything, really.
Yeah.
Because you'd read about these films coming out months in advance, and so you're excited to think, oh, great, yes. And then when it finally happens, we all do our best to make sure we got the day off. We all got to, and it's almost like a pilgrimage, isn't it? We meet up, we go to the cinema, watch the film, go for something to eat afterwards sometimes, and then we'll discuss it. So not being able to do that, it's such a hardship.
Yeah, especially the fact that we had They closed for a while, they reopened for a bit, and then they closed them again, didn't they? So
yeah.
Gokul,
That was annoying.
Gokul, what's your opinion? Did you miss going to the movies last year?
Oh, 100%. I think it made me realize how much I missed the cinema, of being in an auditorium and having Dolby surround sound and sitting with your friends and having Gal steal your popcorn and you know,
is it the salted popcorn?
I put the side one on purpose, just so.
You know how to stop him, don't you? Cut a hole in the bottom.
Yeah. You know, I knew someone would say that. Yeah, but you're right, and I think, you know, it's a weird. It really was a weird year. I mean, a lot of it came down to, I think, like you were saying, the on and off lockdowns. There was a small window where we could go to the cinema, and then next thing you know, it was like all of a sudden we're back in a lockdown again. It's like, man, you know.
Yeah,
so
what a tease it was.
Living room. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think 2021 is going to be much different, to be fair.
Nah.
Yeah,
that's another question. That's another question for you there. Big G, did you miss going to the movies this year? Last year, sorry.
I'm gonna start off by saying no, because if I did, John would be like talking for the cinema. So no, I didn't miss it. I did. I'm gonna say, like, in the beginning, like, I kind of enjoyed it, like the time off and stuff, because obviously I had a little one and stuff, so I didn't miss it as much. But the second one got me really big time, because I just felt like I took a lot of things for granted, like even like little small meeting up. But obviously, like, the biggest thing I miss, like, going to cinema is probably ices, and I'm sure I'm go crazy about ice. I would kill someone right now for ices.
Yeah.
So basically, so basically, you want to go to the cinema now to get away from the kids.
Yeah. That's not what I said. Don't twist my words. That's not what I said. Hear this.
So
I think every dad has that, you know, a little bit.
Oh, I'm guilty of it, mate. Clearly, I mean, I not only do I have a passion for cinema, I do it to get away from my kids. Trust me. So
the thing is, for me, like, I don't like. I love cinema, but the thing is, I can enjoy it from home as well. So that's not an issue. But the whole experience, like going there, the, you know, popcorn, like, and like seeing like Tenet in the big screen, like if I watched it on like my TV, I think I'd be pretty annoyed. But like, I was lucky enough to came out of cinema where we got to see it and stuff. But yeah, I'm missing it big time, dude.
So what about you, Lil G?
I don't miss it as much as you guys do. I mean, I most of my films I watch it on Netflix, or I've got all these like Netflix, Prime, and all of them. I'm pretty sure all of them. All my top 5 are all on Netflix. I don't think none of them are on in cinema, or I mean, obviously because of Corona and stuff. But again, I've seen all of them on Netflix.
Yeah, this is that was the year when we all stayed in, wasn't it? So yeah, I can imagine them. Most of people's lists. Being at least a streaming service of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. But even that, I do miss hanging out, you know, talking about going to the cinema with all my friends and stuff like that. I do
having an icy.
But yeah, exactly. Having an icy, having I'll steal your popcorn.
I forget how it tastes.
Yeah. But yeah, we do take, like, I did take what Gal said. Yeah, we do take things for granted, and yeah, it does get to you know, it would be nice to, like, you know, once in a while go out and have a meal, you know, go out to a meal still.
Yeah, exactly. Do come on a podcast and review it straight afterwards, hey?
Exactly.
So John, my next question. Was there a movie that was originally meant to be out in 2020 that's obviously been delayed that you were really looking forward to?
James Bond.
Oh, yeah. James Bond.
I'm so psyched for that film. Because I do love a good Bond movie anyway. I do think Daniel Craig's done a good job, despite what people might say about him.
Yeah.
And I was so gutted when they kept delaying it. I understood why they delayed it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see it. And if it comes up, if it turns out it comes out on things like Netflix or Prime or whatever, I'll be so disappointed. Because it's one film I really want to see.
Yeah, that was the thing, though, wasn't it? That they were trying to sell it on streaming services. Would you be really bummed out if you saw it on something like Amazon instead of the big screen?
God, yeah. I'd be heartbroken, to be fair. I'm still watch it, obviously, because I want to see it, but I would give anything to watch it in a cinema. I'd rather watch it in the cinema first. You can watch it as many times as you like when it comes out on Prime and Netflix. You can do that with any film, I know, when they, you know. But I would prefer to see these big films in the cinema first off. First time you see them.
Totally. What about you, Gokul? Was there anything that was meant to be out?
That's a very good question. It was, I'd agree with John, it would have to be, I think the main blockbuster would have to be James Bond, right? That was the one that we were kind of waiting for. And like you said, they kept on pushing it back. Again, can't blame the situation, you know. I guess they had a window, maybe around the time when Tenet came up, but I think the reason why they didn't want to, is it MGM who produced it? They didn't want to all, you know, push it out because they were scared that maybe they weren't going to, you know, gross enough money from it. So it made sense for them to do that. But there was actually one other movie that I was actually waiting for to come out this year, was A Quiet Place 2.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's the one. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, my God. Because I think it was the one who... Yeah, because I think Gal and Big J went to see it with you guys, and they told me about it, the first one. And I remember watching that. Was that the? Is that the story?
No. So basically, what happened was, our cinema they were doing a double bill. So we had tickets to go see part one, and then straight up they were going to play part two. But that was the actual day. That was the day the country went into lockdown.
No.
So it was the actual day.
Right now.
And then we found out. And then we found out that Jay wasn't going to show up anyway. What a cunt!
Oh yeah.
He's like, get me a ticket, guys. Get me a ticket, guys. I'm not going to show up.
He was like messaging me, oh man, I hope I have no grandma on it. I'm not going to go in the end.
What an absolute bastard.
He paid for it as well. Did he pay for a ticket as well?
I think he did. Did he pay for it? God. Yeah, he did. He did.
No. I don't think he did. No.
Oh. But he was going to get you to book it and then pull out. What a loser.
But no, Gokul, going back to what you were saying, that was definitely one I was looking forward to.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I saw the first one.
So I'm glad you mentioned it.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I was thinking about that, actually. There was a time when I was thinking, oh my God, how many movies have been missed out? Like, you know, even before the question, and that was definitely one of them.
There's loads, but I can't, like, because there's so many games and movies been pushed back. I just got, like the only big ones I remember is GoldenEye and, sorry, not GoldenEye, James Bond and Quiet Place. Sorry.
Yeah.
So is that your pick as well, BG?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, the Snyder Cut, was that the Justice League? Was that meant to come out last year as well?
No,
I can't remember.
It's next month. It's in March.
Oh, was it? Okay, I thought it was meant. Okay,
I was saying,
those two.
Go on, John.
And they've just rated it an R.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's what it needs to be as well.
Amazing.
Big G,
I was reading it today.
Big G, I swear that the Black Widow was on your list for last year. like you were so pumped for that film.
I am. I still am. I can't wait. You're going to be surprised on my top 5.
Well,
you're going to be surprised.
The only thing is though, I've kind of got a spoiler for you for the Black Widow movie. Do you want to know what it is?
Ooh. Go on.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, just to let you know, she dies.
What a wasted movie, man. Why?
So again,
they just can't let her die.
No point about it. What's the point? Little G, was there a film that you were looking forward to?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't like what I think John was saying. James Bond. I wasn't too bothered about James. I mean, I like James Bond's film, but I wasn't too bothered when that was delayed. But Quiet Place, yeah, because I watched that probably early last year or the year before, and I heard Quiet Place 2 was coming out, so I was like, yes, I'm psyched for this. But yeah, like that's probably the film I was really gutted to see, because I really wanted to see the second part. I really want to know what happens, because I thought it was a good idea. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think there was any other films that was delayed apart from those two.
I can't remember.
There was a few. So we had like the Fast and Furious was being delayed as well. We had the one that I was looking forward to, which was June. I was quite looking forward to that. So I was kind of glad that got delayed as well.
I forgot.
So there was quite a few. I mean, if I go through the list later on, you'll probably think, oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Because I can't think of any.
Yeah, so my next question, John. So going back to what we were saying about James Bond, how do you feel about the big movies possibly going to streaming services now? Do you think the cinema will be a dying business in the future?
No.
No?
I do think no, because people are so desperate to get back out and resume a normal life that I think that this like possible move to streaming services is only a short-term solution. I think even if it takes another year, and I don't think it will, but even if it takes another year, it's worth the delay, personally, I think, because once we're all able to go back out again, the cinemas will be flooded because people will be so desperate to get back out again. People like ourselves, with our Cineworld cards, we might even go that little bit more often because we would appreciate what we had and lost. If
there's anything to see.
Do you think? Sorry, go on.
By putting some of these films on a streaming service, I just think it's like a cash grab. I get why they would do it, but I really hope they don't.
Yeah,
not for the big anyway.
Do you still think that again? This goes to all you guys, not just John personally, but that John was saying it's trying to get back into everyone trying to get back to normality. But do you still think there will be people that be like, "Ooh, I don't want to be in a big place full of people. I might still catch something."
This is what my thought was.
Exactly.
That's my thought. That is my thought. And
so this is what I was going at to. It being a dine. So like Gokul was saying about Bond, I still think even if it does get released in cinema, we'll still lose on money, personally. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what do you think about that, Gokul?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And, you mentioned that as well, because you do think about, what's it going to do to cinema? Now, the whole idea of, for example, when we had that moment when we went to see Tenet in the right? And man, just it was a whole day. It was like going on a holiday to Crawley. It was like the morning we were all pumped up, and seriously, guys, we're excited to see each other. But that day, we were really, really excited. Like it could have been the shittest film in the world, but we were so excited about going to the cinema and getting our food, sitting down, looking at the trailers. The trailers, the ones, those exactly, and then
sometimes that turns out to be a better part of the day.
Exactly, that's it. It just reminded you, like, for example, I remember like speaking to my parents. What did you guys do back in the day? And they were like, yeah, we went to the cinema. To them, that was like the highlight of the year, and we experienced that last year, which is crazy. But I know where they're coming from. There's so much, and for it to die. I mean, it's a shame. But this whole thing about HBO Max, I know we're going to be talking about this later. I am so pissed off that a Matrix movie is going to be coming out on that. I would wait 3 years if I have to for that to come out in the cinema because like that for that to come out. I mean, just to think that people are going to be watching that on their laptops, computer screens. It's just like if I was the Wachowski brothers, I would be pissed off. I know Christopher Nolan had a Oh, sisters, shit. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, they're sisters now, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and I know Nolan was against that as well, wasn't he? He was talking about all that. But I really hope, it's like what you guys were saying about people being scared to even be in a dark place, and but I really hope that doesn't happen. I think
I think that the cinema. The world of cinema, not just Cineworld, but all the other big cinema groups. I think this, if anything, I think you're right. Yes, a lot of people probably will think, I don't know about sitting in a cinema with 300 bloody people.
Yeah.
But it's up to, if the cinema groups want to make money, which of course that's what it is at the end of the day, it is a business, it might be worth their while. If they're going to have less people in to see the film, is it not better to have less people to watch that film, but that film's shown a little bit more often?
Yeah.
Then not at all. Because if they don't do anything, if they don't evolve, I think it's time for, maybe for the next couple of years, for the cinema world now needs to evolve to the point where people feel that they can come to the cinema and they're not necessarily sitting right next to somebody. So even if that means taking out every second seat or whatever, then maybe it's something they need to do, because in the short term they need to convince people that it is safe to come back to the cinema.
Yeah.
It will pay them dividends in years to come. But if they don't take this chance to evolve now, then I think within 5 years you could see the death of some of these big cinemas, and I'd be so afraid.
So Big G, what's your?
You're changing your point. Then you said it will be all right. Now you're saying, it's not gonna. Yeah, he just changed it. Such a loser.
But again, this is the question. This is the question, isn't it? So, little G, I guess it doesn't affect you as much because you streamed quite a bit last year, didn't you? So
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I was waiting for Gal to go, but I think it is it's going to die out. Like, everyone wants to, like, now you got these massive TVs. Like, I'd rather sit at home with a wicked TV with my family or my friends, come over for the day, and we just have some food, chill out and watch a wicked movie with high quality. Like, why do I need to go into the cinema? Like, don't get me wrong, it is a different feel to go into the cinema and watch it, but like I said, like, people don't want to be in massive, like, groups and stuff like that. But I mean, like, I just think I was speaking to people, they prefer watching films at home in their own comfort. Like, that's what I think that's what it's going to. Like, not as much people are going to go to the cinema. I know you're saying, like, the vaccination's coming out, so obviously this whole thing of everyone, I don't want to be in a tight space, is going to go eventually. But I think the cinema industry is going to die down. Like, it's going to, like, you're going to see big cinemas closing, and it's all going to be online now. And like,
exactly my point. I think as much as I find it hard saying this, I think this is the new norm now. Films like, I don't know, the 3-4 films are going to be consecutively released on streaming and cinema. I think this year. I think one of them is Matrix. I can't remember certain films.
We'll go into that in a second. Yeah.
But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, like, for me, like, I think, like, I'm not going to go see every films, but some films I really like to see in the cinemas. But the ones I don't. Yeah. And if it's coming out, say if it's coming out tomorrow, but I'm working and I really want to go see it, but, at least I have the option to watch it, on that day later on after work or something. So it kind of works that way.
And that, my friends, is how Blockbuster died.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. People like you, yeah.
No, it's just a new norm now, man. Streaming's taken over. It's taken over the consoles. It's this new way now. It is a new way. So as much as I love cinema, I think that the only hardcore cinemas will be, like, open.
So, Little G, going back to you saying you could be at home, enjoying the movie with your family, comfort, whatnot, food. What about Ant-Man's movie nights? I mean, what happened to that?
Bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather, like, Ant-Man movie nights are wicked. That's what I'm saying. It's still at home. It's not going to, like, a cinema, like, with a massive area. It's exactly what I'm saying. Like, that's still at your place, isn't it? We're chilling out together with friends. I'm saying we're talking about cinema as in, like, the industry itself. But I'm saying, like, chilling at home with your friends and, like, Ant-Man, like, that is wicked. I love that. We can do that. That's fine. That's not going to die out. That sounds
Max, I love it.
And Max.
So
yeah, that's not going to die. That's what I'm saying. That's what people are going to do a lot more of.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? Because it's already killed the rental industry. And like I said, you can rent films now from Amazon Prime and whatnot now. It's just, it is a big worry. I mean, I hope it doesn't personally, but, we can't tell the future at the end of the day. I know there's a lot of people that would pay still to go to cinema or whatnot, but we'll see. So my next question.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't, because Jay's got shares in Netflix.
Oh, yes, he did, didn't he?
Cineworld.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. He bought it, didn't he? Well, mind you, if it comes back and it works out, he might be quids in you.
No, he keeps saying he has a lot of faith, so I think it'll be
They need to take this opportunity to evolve now and appeal themselves to a market that is now possibly a kind of, afraid to go out in public. So they need to do something to bring them in, whether it's making the films cheaper, taking so many seats out. But I don't think, I hope I'm...
Yeah, so anyway, next question. Going back to what Gokul was saying early on, at the end of 2020, Warner Brothers announced that their movies of 2021 will be released on HBO Max as well as the cinema on the same release date. In your opinion, where would you choose to watch it? And don't forget, we don't have HBO Max, so it's going to be interesting how this works for us at the end of the day.
Yeah, how's that? That sucks. How's that? That literally means that if we, because I should Google that. And like when I heard that, I was like, okay, HBO Max UK, and that was actually one of the top searches in Google, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the UK were actually searching that, and that means if when it comes out, okay, Matrix Reloaded, say further down the line, God forbid, it's like September and it comes out, so people in America can technically watch it from their home, but then it's up to our cinema industry to decide whether to release it on the cinema. Whoa, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because IMAX announced today that the Lord of the Rings trilogy will be out in 4K and in IMAX, but there's no cinema for it to be played on. So, what's the point?
But to be fair, they don't know nothing anyway. So they've got no clue on when this is going to end. So. They can't, it could end like next week or, within the next 3 months. So they can actually say it, but eventually, hopefully, when the time comes, they'll release it.
So
I'm having my fingers crossed, man.
So let me go to John on this, right? So there's a second part to that question, right? So where would you choose to watch the cinema if you had the choice? So Warner Brothers has said to you, in the cinema or on live stream, okay? Does it depend, John, on the movie?
Yes, of course.
So, say for example,
first choice would always be cinema, but it depends on the film.
Yeah,
new James Bond film, cinema. Quiet Place 2, cinema.
Godzilla versus Kong,
cinema.
Definitely.
No, but there are some films that I'm looking forward to, but I think some films. They should be in the cinema first scene because they're such a big film. Others, you can take it on because there's been a couple of films I think that
the slow burners.
Pardon?
The slow burner films like drama sort of thing. You could probably watch it streaming, sort of.
Yeah.
The
Blackwater.
The high octane sort of Godzilla sort of anything like massive. Like if any titles I say Matrix or Lord of the Rings,
right.
That's good.
I'll run a couple films for you. Ready? Here we go.
Go on.
Yeah.
So Matrix 4.
Cinema.
Yeah, cinema. Yeah.
Space Jam 2.
Home.
Everyone,
I knew what you're trying to do.
I was waiting for you to go. No.
He was like, really?
I was a follow for that. I don't mind watching it in cinema, dude.
So the new Suicide Squad.
Home, man. Home. That's not worth cinema.
I'm torn. I think it would depend on all of us what we're doing. If we can all get together for a cinema day.
Suicide 1 was the first one was terrible. So Suicide 2 now it should be home. I mean, it could be better, but I just think it's going to be home. It's any good, is it?
It's done by the guy who directed the Guardians of the Galaxy, so it might actually work out well.
Oh, yeah.
If all you boys are going, then I'll be game, right? I might come in, but it's not like yes, I'm gonna go watch it sort of thing.
Yeah. It's not like this is a cinema thing.
Yeah. It's not a cinema thing. Yeah.
So
it is.
Yeah. So,
I got one.
Go.
Black Widow.
See, what I would do is I would
3D.
I would pay for it and then I would delete it straight away.
That's harsh, man.
You know the ending. You know the ending. She dies. This was the point.
Yeah, just ruined it for us.
So the rest of you guys. So it depends on the film. The rest of you guys. That question.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I agree. Depends on the film.
Yeah, I think it's
100% the film.
It's like for example, Gal, when you mentioned Godzilla versus Kong, right? So I think you and John put it up on WhatsApp, and watching that trailer, like Sunday, it was exciting to wait for that trailer. I was looking forward to Sunday for someone to drop that on the WhatsApp group. But see, that is like huge, gigantic monsters, and you want to see that on an IMAX screen.
That's what cinema's about, though, isn't it? That's what you go to cinema.
Yeah.
I remember even the old Godzilla Night and Dead. 2000. Do you remember the one with the green eye?
Roland Emmerich
that one. Oh man, cinema.
I loved it.
It's amazing.
Especially as we were quite young as a kid, to see a movie like that come out, in this sense, that was pretty awesome. I think it's something. Yeah, it has to be done in the cinema.
I think there's certain films it's a must, and certain films you can get away with just watching at home. Like I'm talking about, those dramas, or maybe even like a slow thriller. Like you can get away with watching it at home, but it's not a necessity to go watch it in the on the big screen.
But it's like we were just saying. It does depend on the film, but it also depends on how excited we are as a group to see it.
Yeah, exactly. So when Ant said Suicide Squad,
it's like if there hadn't been if there hasn't been a good film out for maybe a couple of weeks, we might prefer to meet up and go out to the cinema for the day and watch it. Because it's more than just the film, then, isn't it? It's the day out for us together.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It does depend on the film. I mean, I wouldn't like we say, Godzilla has to be seen, I believe, in IMAX because it's such a big thing.
Like, don't ever go watch like John Wick with John, because he would just like name every weapon. You don't want to be sitting next to John.
No, they just sit there goading me.
Big G, I've literally.
John, when you do that, just sit. Yeah, Sean.
So Big G, I've literally just got a text. Warner Brothers has changed the title to Godzilla vs Kong. It's now called Mrs. G versus Big G. Who wins? We find out next month.
Don't make it Godzilla.
Sorry.
Honest question though. Who does reckon? Who do you guys think is going to win though?
Oh, Mrs. G. Mrs. G would whoop her ass.
I'm in the film. The actual film, you loser.
All right, sorry. I interrupted Little G. What was you saying, little man? Sorry.
I forgot. What the hell was I going on about?
Don't worry. We'll come back to it. We'll go to the next question. So, so obviously the cinema reopened for a little while. There was only a couple of newer releases that came out, but a majority of the time they were basically replaying old movies. If the cinema was still open today, again, with still nothing coming out, would you guys still be going to watch these movies? I mean, I remember back in October, we all went to go see Akira, and I've never seen it on the big screen, so it was an honor to see that in the IMAX.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What would you think, guys? I said earlier, it depends on the film, and it depends on if we're all interested in seeing a certain film, regardless of who's in it or what. But obviously we'll either like the film because of who's in it or because of the story or whatever. Yeah. It becomes more than the film, then, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, it's kind of like and there's certain movies where you guys have actually told us about that we've seen it on a streaming service, or we've seen at your house on a DVD or something, and you're in the back of your head, you're like, I wish I could see this in the cinema, something that came from the 80s or 90s, right? And if you can kind of replay like the whole going to the cinema in the 80s, like almost like a secret cinema thing, where you can go there and dress up as the characters and just dress up as your 80s or 90s self and sitting down.
I wish there was a cinema that you could and they only showed 80s movies.
Why has anyone?
You might see more of that soon, because there won't be nothing else. People want to go out.
What about you, Big G?
Go back to the question. For me, I like you said, Akira. Like I'm so glad, like I got to see that in cinema.
It's amazing.
If films that I missed in the cinema, if they show that, I'm down for it. I'll be like, even if it's, I've seen the film already, like Lord of the Rings. If they're doing that again, bang, I'm on it. Anything massive, anything that I missed, if they're re-showing it again, it's well worth the money to go see it on the big screen. Yeah. Why not?
100%.
Why not?
Little G shaking his head is like, nah, I wouldn't go. I just watch it. I'll put the DVD.
Really? I'm not gonna like. No, I wouldn't.
Here's one for you, Little D. There must be a film where you streamed and you're like, oh, what, man? This film is sick. It would have been actually really good in the cinema. There must have been a film when you watched that. You know what?
Okay, the only reason I would go, like, if I seen us, like, I would go is just because I'm going to watch it with you guys and it'll be better. But I wouldn't like to. I mean, like, yes, films like Lord of the Rings, I would be like, yes, like top. It has to be high. It has to be the best of my expectation. If it's something like, no, I'm saying when I mean like the best of the best, where I thought, yes, that was one of the best films ever, then it can't be anything. Even if I haven't, I think for you it's like. You you don't want to go see a disappointing film in the cinema where you're like, I could have watched that at home. I get that. You go there and you're like, oh my god, this is shit. Like this is shit completely. Like that's why I don't like doing. I know where you're taking this. If you say anything about Tenet today, I swear down, I'm going to lose my shit. I've got a whole lot on this. One of you assholes is there. I know one of you people.
Hey, don't ruin the top fives now, okay? We can't do that.
I know where he's going. I know where he's going with this.
Yeah, but
he lined that up well. I didn't say anything. I didn't even bring Tenet into this. I don't know where you the one who brought it.
But Lil G, I have to say, do you not think that, for example, sound, right, is huge in a movie, right? Like seriously, like you're never going to get a sound as good as that.
I can pay 20 quid for a wicked sound, like a sound bar in my house, bro, and I can get the better quality.
£20 for a sound bar.
From India. Yes, I can claim my own from sound. Yeah, okay, maybe not £20. I exaggerated there. Maybe like £50, maybe, or 100. But anyway, I can still like get a good quality in my own house, but I don't need the cinema.
£20 for a sound bar. Was it a Hewlett Packard one?
Well, it was better than bloody the cinema.
Right, so I think we've kind of summed up there, guys. So before we get into the top fives, I just want to say you've obviously seen enough to get a top five in. Having doing my list, I actually realised that I think 2 or 3 out of my list were actually released in December of 2019, but we didn't actually get it in our country till the January because of pushing it back for award season. So if anyone has those sort of ones as well, we're going to allow it in this list because if it doesn't go in the list, it couldn't go in the 2019 list because they went out by the time the 2019 list was up. So I think we're going to allow it to go into this one. Okay. So,
that's fine.
We're cool with that. Ready? So top 5.
It's time for a top 5.
Right. So we're going to go in order like we've done with the questions. So John, what's your number 5, sir? Top 5 2020 movies.
Ooh. Okay, I mean, like we said, there wasn't a lot of films out, so I had a look at the films that I saw and the films that I enjoyed watching, and my number 5 is Extraction.
Oh, and I bet you that's Little G's number 1.
No, it's not. You know what? That's massive number 1. You know it. Why do you like it?
Oh, before we carry on, if anyone has the same, we have to jump in with it, okay? You know the number.
Okay, I'm going to jump in. Yeah, it's my number 5 as well.
Right, that's fine. Yeah, so jump in. So jump in with John. Nice.
Perfect. Okay, John, great choice. These are two people who love Call of Duty and weapons, and seeing an AR-10 and G36C on a big, I was going to say on a small screen now. But I've got a few factoids. I thought I was going to be a bit of a geek here and just I was telling you about this, guys. See, I didn't know this till I looked into it, but did you know it was based on a graphic novel called Ciudad that was made by the Russo brothers? These are the guys who actually directed the War series and stuff. Yeah. Which was really, really interesting. So I didn't know it was that. So it was basically based on that. So imagine if this is the Russo brothers, they had like this script that lands on their desk. They must have saw something in this for them to be like, you know what, we're going to make a movie. And this is like 2 years even before the lockdown. So that's not like a money-grabbing thing. They must have thought, this film's got bits of
They're probably too busy with the Infinity War. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, to see... what's his name? The guy who plays the main character, Thor. What's his name? Exactly.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, to see him swap, B&Q hammer for a weapon.
Hey. Watch what you say.
That's why it made my top 5, because for a film that obviously I don't think they spent an awful lot of time on it. Like some films can take a couple of years.
Sure. Yeah.
So I wouldn't have thought they spent more than a year on this film. So for a film that didn't have a huge budget and was made fairly quickly, it turned out to be a bloody good film.
Absolutely.
So I had to put it down as my number 5 then, because
it was really close to being my
number 5, but it didn't make the cut. But I got to say, some of the action scenes were amazing. I got to say, it was.
I'm not a big fan of action movies, but Gal told me to watch it the other day. Yeah. And I went to Netflix. No, I saw it to Netflix. I saw Chris Hemsworth, and I was thinking of watching it, and then it said 62%. Like, you know, the rating, like, it's not going to be fair. You know, it's 62%. And I was like, no, I ain't watching this.
Yeah,
and I was like, no, I'm not gonna like it because it's because I don't watch a lot of action films. So they told me like, you're not gonna like this, mate. So don't bother. So I just said, no, I love that. But I don't know. I'll surely watch it because Chris Hemsworth's in it. But I've heard a lot of, like, you guys got it in your top 5. It must be a reason for it.
Yeah, no, it is. It is good. It is good.
But is it all action? If it's full on action, I don't like that. No, I haven't watched the trailer for it now.
You haven't seen the trailer for it?
You need to see the trailer because it's good. It's like, I know some trailers for some films can be a little bit over the top. Yeah. They look really, really good. You get really excited. You go and see the film. You walk out of the end of the film and you think, that trailer was fucking better, sort of thing. There have been a few films like that, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the trailer that you see for the film is better than the trailer. But it's a good trailer.
And I think I think we established in episode 10 of M.T.V.B. podcast that John loves a good trailer.
Yeah, I do. You should talk about trailers, bro. That's what you should do.
Right. Oh, that's a good idea.
And he gets an episode. He gets to do his own episode, top 5 trailers of all time for John.
No, we do have that episode. We do have that episode in the works, so it will be coming because I've got some good trailers.
Is it just going to be John on it?
Right.
Is John going to host it?
Right. So John and Gokul's number 5 is done. That means Big G. What is your number 5, sir?
Right. This one we saw, I think, at your house, and it's definitely come out this year. I don't think it came out in the cinemas for us, but it's The Underwater.
Yep, that's my number 5.
Ooh. Yeah. How's it? Oh,
nice.
Sweet, back.
Nice.
Yeah, because I was like really thinking about it. I was like, underwater. I was really thinking about it. I was like, I normally base my films on films that I can rewatch, and I was like, what film, like, would I watch Underwater more or Extraction? I thought Underwater, I'll watch it again. So that's why it made the cut. And yeah, basically, Underwater is basically the team that they're basically mining in underwater, basically, and they tap into some sort of underground thing, and some creature comes and they have to survive. That's what I'm saying. And it's basically the vibes you get in it is aliens but underwater. That's the sort of vibe I got.
Ooh,
yeah.
Nice.
Just go in with that, and it's amazing. But I think the costumes, the design of the film, it's so well done, and I think it was a low budget film as well.
Yeah, so you pretty nailed it on the spot with the storyline. They're 7 miles underwater, they're mining, and they come across straight from the start. I think it's literally in the first minute or two, the something happens to the station, and from then on, it's just a thrill ride all the way to the end. It is very underrated. It was actually filmed. They actually filmed it back in 2017. And did you know, little fact here, that this was in fact the last film made by 20th Century Fox before Disney took over?
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's quite sad, but yeah.
That's why it got delayed, because it was actually been and done in 2017. They filmed it, it's edited, it was ready to go, and Disney bought 20th Century Fox and then just put it aside, which was a shame, really.
Wow, damn good film.
But it's very well shot. It's very suspenseful.
I had it in my number 6 or number 7.
And the costumes, the underwater marine costumes look like something out of Gears of War. Like, all the budget went into the costumes in this. It is fucking phenomenal, the costumes in this. How it didn't get an Academy Award for Best Costume, I have no idea.
Goku, I know Johnson and Gal, little G. If you need to watch it, it's really good.
History.
John came round to mine before second lockdown, and I showed it to him then. And having watching the second time round, I actually realised that the creatures in it are very Cthulhu-esque sort of looking creatures. And I didn't notice that first time because we wasn't playing games like Manchester Madness by then. But we're now recently playing them. I'm like, oh yeah, that does look very, very Cthulhu-esque.
Hulu. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this on the streaming platforms, or is this?
It's on Sky or Now TV.
It's on Sky. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I might just get a free trial.
Yeah,
I'll watch that.
very good.
Cancel my subscription.
If you're in the mood for like an old school feeling sort of for a movie, this is the one that's really good.
Okay.
You haven't watched Alien, so watch this instead then.
You guys don't know about me not waiting.
God.
Okay, here's the deal. I was waiting for Gal to give me the DVD, but lockdown happened. Seriously, we talked about this, Gal. So I'm
you can watch it on any stream. I'm sorry you can get on Amazon.
It's somewhere out there. Come on.
It's somewhere there.
Pathetic.
It's a loser.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
Oh, sorry.
Saving the best for last.
Right, sorry, Gokul. Let's hear this. Let's hear the story about the so-called borrowed Blu-ray.
About the borrowed Blu-ray. Okay, so it was, in fact, the funny thing is we were coming back from a previous podcast, Dan, and it was late at night, and I must have borrowed like a game from Gal. At the same time, I was like, shit, Gal, I need to borrow Aliens. I finally want to sit down and watch Aliens, right? Because I think it was kind of still in the lockdown phase, and I've forgotten, and I need to see this because you guys are going to hate me for this. I've seen Prometheus, but I haven't seen like the Alien series. So
my God.
I know, but now's the opportunity. So look, Royal Mail is still delivering, Gal. Just do me a favor, mate. Just post it to my house. Just get it over and done with. Right?
Do you realize what you've just said? It's like
the podcast.
No. It's basically like you watch Toy Story 4 instead of watching Toy Story 1. That's basically like in your sort of what it is. That's how I can explain it to you.
Oh my God, yeah, that would hurt.
Oh right,
okay,
Gokul, right. Let me just jump in for there for a sec. What Big G just said, right? Okay, so we started our board game nights, right? And we bought first game we bought was a Thing, the Mondo version. Okay, right? So Big G was trying to get Little G into what the Thing is, right? Okay. So he has both the original and the prequel. Which one do you think he showed him first?
Let me guess. Was it the original?
So he showed him the prequel first, and then and then he showed him the original.
I was going for chronological order.
Yeah. You ruined it, innit?
I agree. God.
So he knew the dog part was coming in the original. It was like it's kind of a pointless hype to it, which was a shame.
Yeah.
But never mind.
I'll hold my hand up.
What's done is done. Anyway, Big G, that's a good.
It would have had a good effect if it did the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. Big G, that's a good pick. Number 5. My number 5 is same as your number 5. Little G, what's your number 5, sir?
Oh yeah. So I don't think it came out last year. I watched it quite a while back, but it was still like one of my favorite films. It's called Onwards. It's a Pixar film.
Yeah.
I love that, and that was in my top 5. Like, I definitely, that was my fifth one, and I enjoyed it. Like, it was wicked. It had everything. It had like, it had like fairy tale. It had like your friends, your sibling brotherhood. I love all that stuff, and it was just creative. I thought everything. It was so creative, and it was just like I enjoyed it, and I think I would watch that again. Like, I do love my animated films like that, and I'm pretty sure that I would watch 2 or 3 times, like that, and a few other like Pixar movies or Disney movies. I can watch a couple of times. I enjoyed it a lot.
I've seen the trailer for it, but
that's the one.
I don't even know the story.
That's the one in the fantasy. That's the one in the fantasy world, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a fantasy. Yeah, it's got. I love it because they always have a meaning at the end. They got like some sort of moral at the end, and I love it. And that did have something in it at the end. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. It was like you were talking about like the sibling relationship. Oh my God! I swear to God, after I watched that, I picked up the phone to tell my brother, "I love you, man." Like seriously, it was like
because we got brothers, and it's got like a brother relationship because they don't have a father in it when they grew up. So there's a meaning in there. I won't spoil it, but yeah, they had a struggle, but despite that struggle, they had each other, and it was kind of like it was quite sweet and nice. And I thought, that's quite nice.
Definitely, and it was kind of set in this medieval world, and it had that kind of like medieval rock kind of vibe going on. That kind of
exactly.
Like,
it was
Venus,
and the older brothers,
the
older brothers into board games and D&D.
Yeah, he's into all the D&D, and that was cool. And I thought that was cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sold now. I'm going to check it out.
That's good. Get the tissues ready. Because it's a tearjerker. It's a tearjerker.
It's quite sad, yeah.
I'm bawling his eyes out.
Right, so
Pixar do make good films, so
absolutely.
Well, they released another film last year as well. I don't know if anyone saw it yet, but it might be in someone's top 5, so I won't say anything yet. So,
okay.
John.
Okay.
John, sir, What is your number 4, sir?
Right. As I said, not a lot of films. So my number 4 of 5 films that I really, really enjoyed. My number 4 is Time to Hunt, the Korean.
Yes. So it's such a fucking good film.
That's a wicked film.
I really enjoyed that film. Again, I think a recommendation for you, Ed.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to have to jump in because it's one of my higher up numbers. So do I jump in with him?
Right, before you jump in, I just want to say that film, it's not in the top 5, it's in the top 10, but I have never sweated so much for a certain scene in that movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I was intense, mate. I was like, oh, something's coming.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You went on to the right with those guys, weren't you? Like, oh my God!
Exactly. So go on, guys.
If any of you have...
I'll just jump.
Yeah, so John and Big Gal, go for it.
I think that is actually higher up for me. That's in my number 2. So
it's your number 2?
Out of me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's well done. I think it's that guy, the acting, the guy who hunts basically. He's so menacing, man. Yeah. And I think the scene you're talking about is just the one in the hospital, and.
No, I'm talking. No, the scene in the garage when they're in the parking lot.
Oh, it's the very beginning, right?
No, without kind of spoiling it, they make their first escape and they're in the car, but they're in the car park lot. It's like a big parking area.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you're waiting for something to happen, and it's so nail biting. I was do you know what? I was in the crew room. I was sweating. I was literally like, oh my God! And then by the time I had to go back on post, my back is absolutely covered in sweat.
He gave him the head start, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, it's definitely one of your edge of your seat sort of sort of films, and I rarely like I've a film that's done that for me. And I was like, oh shit, man! It's proper putting me like in that as a
wow.
Some
really good stuff.
I love it.
Huh?
Do you just want to?
That's also my top 5 as well.
Who's top 5? Who's top 5?
Come on, John.
Mine. I've got it in my top 5
All right,
as well.
So out of you three, can someone explain what Time to Hunt is? What the film's about?
Go on, John.
You're number 2.
Little G hasn't said it.
I'll go. Yeah, so it's because I watched it recently, and it's about these kids. A guy just comes out of prison, and then there's a group of boys, and they live in like the hood and shit. They got shit life, and this guy wants to make a massive, like a big score, and then like have a nice life. But this big score, they have to go out of their way, and they have to they're going to be using guns, big deal. But they're not going to go against like the police and stuff. They're going to go against like drug dealers, like gangs and stuff. So they want to steal, a casino? Yeah, they want to basically. So rob a casino and get away.
Underground casino, sorry.
Yeah, so these guys, like, they put you through some intense, like, because these guys, if they fuck up, they're dead. These guys are like probably teenagers, early 20s, and like these guys don't know what's out there, what these gangsters are like. So they put you. There's a scene at that beginning where one little fucking mistake, they're done. They're literally done. And I was sweating, like you were saying. I've never felt so scared for them. I was like, shit, these guys will fucking torture you. I don't know what the outcome was, but I was shit. I don't want these guys to get caught. And I love that film. Yeah. So it's their journey on how they do it, and they managed. Actually, I shouldn't spoiler alert, or shall I explain it or not?
Yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah, so they managed to bust it, get the money, but they also managed to steal a hard drive with a lot of like higher up dealings with the gangs and stuff like that. So they end up sending. Huh?
They're not sure about what's on it.
Exactly. Yeah. So they send this guy to sort this out. Now this guy,
Casino send the guy, hire someone basically.
Hire a guy, and then I'm not going to go into detail with this guy, but he's not just your normal, like, he's kind of like a hitman kind of guy, just goes out, but he's got more to it. He loves to hunt. Like, you realize he's a bit of a psychopath here. He lets him live. He hunts him down. He's got them by the throat, yeah. And he's like, he says something. He says interested, and he lets them. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to get out of here, and I'll let you do this over again. And that's where, whoa, why did you do that? And he's like, this guy's a fucking psychopath. Like, what? And that really, I was like, dude, this film's amazing. I love when someone's fucked out and you're like, shit, why? Yeah. But he loves it so much. And like, he just let him go. And it's like, he loved it, yeah.
Also, he could hunt them down, yeah.
Yeah, he gets a kick out. Wow, this is wicked.
Yeah, that's the element for me that I really like. That little bit of the element. That's why I pushed it up to number 2. Like the fact that he got him, and he's like, you seem interesting. You know what? I'll give you 5 minutes. Get lost. I'll hunt you again. It's like what? I would have been like, oh, you know what? Just kill me now.
Go.
He is menacing. He is menacing.
Yeah, going back to another part that I would kind of thought I was a bit intense was literally before they do the robbery, they hesitate for a sec, don't they? And you're like,
yeah.
Oh man, are they going to do it? It's the most simplest thing, but it was so intense to watch. You know, it was just So John, it's your number 4. Big G was your number 2. Little G, what is it on your list?
It's my number 1.
Oh, is it really?
I thought it was wicked.
Wow.
It was because I love Korean films, and because I don't think I watched a lot in 2020, but that was by far my favorite. Like, I never felt like that in ages. Like, I was like, whoa, like, I had goosebumps, and I was like shitting myself, like, shit, and I was actually sweating. I was like, oh shit, it's different. My heart was racing, my heart was beating a lot. I was like, fuck, dude, what's going on? Like, yeah, they got me good.
You know what? Like, the Koreans know how to do a good film, man. They're so good. They're so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for the record, Little G, I said you can spoil it because let's face it, no one watches Korean films, so no one cares.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's why I said spoil it away. The fact that people can't read subtitles does my nut.
It's like anything.
I think you can get a dub
so much by
they can get dubbed.
You know, by being afraid to watch a film with subtitles. I think why you're reading it in English, for God's sake. What's so different?
It's ridiculous.
There's nothing worse than having a film dubbed into English because the lip sync just does not work.
Totally
it
off.
What the language is. So watch it with subtitles. Don't be afraid. There's some bloody good films out there, and the Koreans. In my view, they're not far behind Hollywood. With zombie films, they've gone beyond Hollywood. There is no one I think can match them for zombie type films.
Agreed.
But for action,
but Goku hasn't seen. You should check it out, dude.
It's on Netflix.
I ruined it for him. Yeah. Yeah, well, he's kind of run.
So when Luigi was explaining it, I was just going, yeah, but I wasn't listening to what you were saying. So what happens
no, he dies at the end.
All I heard was hard drive, and that was it.
Yeah, so Goku, just to let you know, Black Widow dies at the end. All right.
Oh, okay.
Right, so
I was like removing my headphones.
That's all right. So John, Big G and Little G, good pick there, good pick. So Goku, what is your number 4, sir?
Right, so my number 4 is, you know something? It's funny that we're riding on this Korean wave. It's a Korean movie, which is shocking, right, for you guys to it's #Alive. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, that was a good movie. Yeah, a zombie film as well. Zombie film.
Zombie movie as well.
It's not in my list.
Alive.
Okay, #Alive. Okay, so it was. You know, I love this movie so much because we were all in a room locked down because of a virus. So in my head, it was like the zombies was a metaphor for the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And it's the guy who's in the room. Yes, and the lady was in the other room, and these guys were like communicating to each other and they're surviving. Yeah. Mate, I saw that. You guys suggested it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to come home from work today and watch this movie. I watched it, and it was so fun.
It's such
seriously,
a good film.
It was.
Oh my God!
I can't thank you guys enough for recommending that. That was really.
Do you know what?
Really
I completely overlooked that film because I watched Sweet Home. I completely forgot about that one. Oh my,
Need to watch it, Big G. Need to watch it.
Yeah, Big G. Yeah,
no. I watched it. That's what I'm saying. I'm still gutted. Like, I might have put it in my list. It might have been my. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's done now. It's done now.
I had to when you read you go, again, like me, looking at this movie, like the blurb. It basically, for people who don't know what it's about, it's like the film revolves around a video game live streamer, so his struggles for survival as he's forced to stay alone at his apartment in Seoul people during a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because, like, you know, you've got the other apartment on the other side. It's like 2 tower blocks, isn't it? And I don't want to spoil it more than that, but it's just how these guys communicate with each other and how it's like a sea of zombies between them, you know? And it's just genius. It's so genius. Like,
and what about that? Go on. Where they run into that guy and they think he's helping him, sort of thing. I like that one.
That was good.
They
throw that kind of like dark humor in as well, don't they? It's like, to other people it's like, what the hell, but it's still funny. But it's just little thing. Yeah, that was a good watch. That was
very good pick. And John, have you seen it yet?
That. Yes.
Yeah. See, Koreans and zombies, good mate. Movie. It's. Yeah. I'm surprised it's not in your top 5.
I know.
I'm actually gutted. I can't believe I forgot that.
I didn't realise that was 2020. I didn't know.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago. I think it was October that came out. October, September. Gokul?
Like
yeah. June. I've got it here. June 2020.
Oh, June. Oh, there you go. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I remember putting the trailer up saying, guys, this is coming out. I thought it was a TV series at first, but no, it turned out to be a movie in the end, so...
Yeah, because I think by that point you guys had already all watched it and you were all raving about it. Like, I'd come home from 152 messages on my WhatsApp, and I'm scrolling up with these alive, and I was like, okay, I must watch this movie.
Hang on. Did you say
John.
Scrolled up?
I think Gokul's the only one that scrolls up.
Does that?
I think you're the only one to know how to scroll up.
Right.
Going back to Korean film, just one last thing.
Yeah.
They can build a amazing atmosphere in a film, don't they? But every time I watch a live or something Korean, you feel like you're there. Like, I felt like I was in that apartment. Like, I don't know what they do. The way they set their the surrounding scene.
Where they shoot.
You just feel like you're almost there. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I felt that with Alive. I felt that with Sweet Home. I know it's not film, but certain Korean films, I just feel like I'm more immersed into their sort of cinematography.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
They do immersion very well.
Definitely.
I think it's the level of attention to details in their scenes. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like we were saying about time to hunt. You know, I felt like I was the 4th bloke or whatever with them.
You're in that.
By the killer. I mean, because
that's what I mean. Yeah.
She was so immersed in the story, you actually felt like you were with them being chased by that bloke. So they do it very well.
100% agree on that one. So, yeah, very good pick, Gokul. Yeah, very, very good pick.
Thank you.
Well, I completely forgot. That's really good.
Big G, what's your number 4, sir?
Right. If I had remembered about Life, it would have been this, number 4, but I've put in a film that we watched, I think, midway through last year. I can't remember. It could be later. A Platform.
Oh,
really?
I think it's a Spanish one.
Spanish one, yeah.
Amazing film.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I really like the concept, but the reason...
Good film.
Really good.
Definitely.
I think
that's on my list, by the way. I've got to jump in. Yeah.
That must have been the easiest
that on your list as well?
To film.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
It's just bare bones, isn't it? This idea of a platform, being again a metaphor of hierarchy, like society, right?
Yeah.
Explain what the film is. Explain what the film is, Big J.
Yeah.
Go on, Gal.
So basically, it's about this prison. In this prison, when you get sent to this prison, you can take one item of your choosing, and when you're in there, there's like a platform that comes down from, I can't remember how many levels.
100 floors or something.
100 floors or something like that.
Yeah, we don't know actually. We don't. I think it's more than that. Yeah.
The platform that goes all the way down, it's like at the top will be full of food. As it eventually goes down and down, there'll be less food because whoever's at the top eats it. Or the platform will stay there for 2 minutes or something, and in that time you eat as much as you can, and then it goes to the next level and next level. And you can't take any food off that platform. If you do, they will mess around with the temperature and shit. And and the third part is that every month the prisoners change positions. So you could be at the bottom for a whole month without, you might not even get all the food because by the time it gets to the 100th floor, everyone's probably you would just get like bare bones.
Oh my god!
So and then
the movie's deep. It's got a meaning to it.
Yeah.
Because
go on. Yeah. So what I thought is it kind of explains like life issues, like kind of like the hierarchy, what's wrong, because like who gets to choose like who moves the prisoners and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of like political like meaning behind it. But what I like about it is the idea. I thought it was like damn good. Like, you know, this prison. You know, I think the main character takes a book, but he runs into another guy who, I think he has a knife.
Yeah, he keeps a knife with him.
Yeah, so if he's at the bottom, he'll kill the like prisoner or cut him up and eat his, you know, like he won't kill him. He'll just, you know, cut a bit of his meat off his leg off and eat it. So they
make sure he's alive, so he doesn't get rotten.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird. It's messed up. But yeah, it's such a cool idea.
It's wicked because it's like if you put it in, it's like I think it's a metaphor for like capitalism and so on. Because like you might be like no one bothers like the guys. I won't spoil it for you, but no one bothers to like the cycle. Basically, you start on the 100th floor, you manage to survive, okay, but the next day you're on the 5th floor, like with a lot more food when it comes down to the 5th floor. But what do? You're so selfish. You know how hard it is down there. You be a fucking pig and you eat as much as you can because you know how hard it is. So like it's that mentality of it's kind of like how society is today. They don't give a shit about people below you. This movie's open to a lot of interpretations. Like, I spoke to a lot of people and someone came up with some other theories and it's amazing. So it's like it's genius, but it's just like how people don't think about others. And it's just like they're at the top. I've got this for a time being. Let me fucking eat as much as I can. Like just be stuff my face. Fuck everyone else down. So they survive what
next month. I don't know where I'm going to be. What level I'm going to be on. Yeah.
So it's just that mentality that people have, and it's wicked. And there's an ending to it, which is also like you have to come up with a meaning or what it is, which it makes you think about it. So you can talk. I love films like this. You can talk about and debate about. Oh shit! No, this is what the meaning was. So like, I was talking to quite a few people watched it, so it's quite nice.
Exactly, it's such a like you finish it and you're having a discussion with someone about it.
Exactly,
The ending is so open ended. There's so many elements that are not closed, and that's what makes it really good. It's kind of like you make your own decisions. What happens in this?
I love when films do that. Just makes you discuss about it, like talk about it. Yeah, that's the reason I chose it number 4. And I think it's if no one's watched it, they should go and check it out now. It's so good.
That's my number 2.
That's your number 2.
Is that your number 2? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a good pick, Little G. So Big G. Little G. What is your number 4 then?
Invisible. That did come out. I did check. It came out this year, didn't it? Have you guys seen it?
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man. It's called Invisible Man, right?
Yeah, it was beginning of the year.
Yeah. So that's number 4. Yeah, it was in my list. I love that film, man. It was just like that. Like you don't know if the girl's crazy or is she making shit up? Is there someone there who's actually invisible, or is she like there's that question, And it's just like, wow. Like, I was actually one point I was like, nah, she must be crazy. Like, how can someone walk around invisible with like the tech? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I was kind of, oh no, it can't be. And I was looking into the film quite deep, thinking, no, this and that happened. But yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's an amazing film. Like, it goes quite deep. Yeah.
Lucy, did you see that in the cinema? Just having
no.
Yeah, me and John did.
Streaming.
Me and John saw it in the cinema.
Yeah. That must have been amazing in the cinema. Like, really.
Yeah,
scary.
Me and John saw it in the IMAX. I think we did.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
One thing I love about that film is amount of times I'm like, is he there? He's there, isn't he? And I was like,
yeah.
I kept doing that every time I watched it.
I love the spin on it because I love how it's taken to a different direction. Like, he wasn't literally invisible. There was a reason why he was invisible. Like, if you've seen movies like The Invisible Man, the original, or Hollow Man, they physically they have an experiment that makes them invisible. Whereas in this movie, he isn't. And that's how I love how, what would you do in that situation? Would you toy with like one of your exes or something if you could be invisible or something? You wouldn't in the day. You're like proper fuck him up.
But you got so much to do, man. Why do that? There's a lot, and he had everything. I was thinking, why would he do that? He's got some mental health issues because he has everything, and the guy continues to torture his wife, his ex. Or it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? But yeah, he's.
Yeah,
it's insane. It's crazy. It's
That's
funny.
good too. Good pick.
There's one scene in that movie where I proper jumped out of my seat as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you've seen the movie, if you've seen the movie, then you know what part I'm on about. But there was one part I literally I think I nearly grabbed John's hand at one point. I was like, oh shit.
You watched in the cinema, so definitely.
I nearly grabbed his salted popcorn.
Salted popcorn.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick, Big G. Little G, sorry.
Yeah, very good pick.
So my number 4 is this is going to be very tough because I kind of have 2 on there, but I'm only going to pick 1. So one is basically like a very is a comedy film, and the other one is very dark and gritty. And anyway, I'm not going to pick the comedy because I already kind of have one on the list. So I'm going to pick my number 4 is The Lighthouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is a movie I watched.
Oh my god!
Sorry, Ant.
I haven't seen it. I got to tell me what it's about.
So basically,
mate.
my friend of mine who's into movies as much as I am, Tim, if you're listening, hello, sir. Got me into this film. So basically, if you've ever seen a movie, there was a horror film that came out a couple of years ago called The Witch. And it's a really, really good film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. The guy who made this film called The Lighthouse. And it's basically about 2 men isolated on an island, looking after a lighthouse, and pretty much, keeping it alight. This is back, I can't remember, is the late 1800s, is it? Or something like that? It's set?
Yeah.
It's
late 1800s in the Atlantic, middle of bloody nowhere.
Yeah, all filmed in black and white, and it's literally about these 2 men trying to get past the whole isolation of being there, and they're kind of going crazy because they've only got each other's company, whatnot. It sounds very dull, but visually it's very well done, and it's filmed on a very 4:3 ratio, so. The black lines on the screen are vertical instead of horizontal, so it gives you that feel of claustrophobia, and there are kind of elements of comedy in it and whatnot, but some of the acting in that superb. William Dafoe is friggin' amazing. There's a scene where he not spoiler, but there's a part where he's getting buried alive, and it's all done in one take, and he's literally getting mud thrown on his face and still acting at the same time. It's like, good God, this is amazing stuff here. It's like
and he's getting mud in his mouth as well. Like,
and then you've got Rob Pattinson in it as well. Again, I'm not a fan of him, but up until I saw this movie, I'm a big fan of Rob Pattinson. He is a damn good actor, and he was really good. Do you remember The King, Netflix movie? He was great in that as well. Really good film.
He was only there for 5 minutes as well.
Yeah, I mean, technically, The Lighthouse, if you think about it, is in theory a horror film. So again, it's quite good.
Psychological horror.
That's it. That's what I was trying to get at, psychological horror. And it's just fantastic. It's like, it had to kind of go on there, but again, it was one of those ones that was released at the end of 2019 that I felt needed to come on the list here. I got some of you guys to come over and watch it. You guys enjoyed it, or trying to mind boggle it, should I say?
Yeah, we watched that beginning of the year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Hands in a demon.
But kind of thinking of it, it's they're being isolated, and then a couple of months later we had to isolate in the corona. It's very weird thinking back now.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. Like, people hear them going, like, if you watch it, like, it's not for everyone, the film, but if you do get a copy, go call a little G, check it out. It's very weird.
Go cool. It's on Sky or Now TV. Give it a go if you get a chance.
Yeah, that's 2 movies now. I'm definitely going to subscribe.
And it also...
I do that lobster bit.
Yeah, I was about to say it has one of the best lines in the movie, and it's like, say it, you were fond of me, lobster. Go on, say it. Say it. So that's my number 4. So we're back to number 3. John, sir, what is your number 3?
Right, okay, my number 3 was a film. Been looking forward to seeing it for a while. I believe we saw it at your place, Ant. Is Peninsula. Train to Busan.
Train to Busan 2.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because getting back to what we'd said before about Korean films, Korean zombies. Train to Busan's probably the best. film, whereas Kingdom's probably the best TV show for zombies. But Train to Busan 2, Peninsula, depending on which way you look at it, brilliant film. I really, really did enjoy it. I don't think it was quite as good as Train to Busan, but
no spoilers, please. I'm still waiting to see it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I really want to watch it. But...
watch it. It is pretty good. The story, you've got to watch the story though. There's a bit that happens at the beginning, and then it gets set so many years later, and then what happened in the beginning comes into focus. So you have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's related.
It was on my list ages ago, but obviously I didn't hear great things about it, so I pushed it aside. But I'll definitely watch it very soon. It does, I think because it's still like zombie and Korean, I think I'm gonna love it anyway. But,
yeah.
After seeing the first Train to Busan, I wouldn't mind if they made 6 or 7 more movies. Like the idea that you're stuck on a train and it's happening at high speed, and you're either going frontwards or backwards, and the zombies are coming from either direction. It's genius. It's
the fact that you're trapped in a train. Like that's why Train to Busan was so cool, because you can't get away. They're in the train, like you know what I'm saying. And even if you go outside, there's still zombies. So it was just so cool. The idea was just cool. It's like snakes on a plane, but I'll just go
like zombies on a plane. That'd be wicked.
Zombies on a plane.
World War Z did that though. If you remember that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They did.
Yeah, World War Z.
That was really
so,
scary.
John, going back to your choice there, I just wanted to say again, it's not a spoiler, but it's quite surprising how you put that in there, considering that the sequel has taken away that element that you're not on the train anymore. Was you still okay with that as a sequel?
Yes, because it's a standard. It was a standalone film. You don't have to have seen the Train to Busan to understand this film. There's nobody. Okay. There's nobody in this film that was in Train to Busan, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
completely different story. Okay.
Yes, different story. Whereas Train to Busan, obviously you're on the train, but in Peninsula, you're this soldier takes his sister-in-law and her child and her husband, so takes his little family with him, and to escape this zombie outbreak. And on the way, they meet someone. I won't say any more because she hasn't seen it. And then it gets set so many years later, but it's like they're living in. It's like the aftermath of it now. They have to go back to this area. It gets asked to go back to this area to find something. So he ends up going back to where he kind of started, but of course it's full of zombies now. So he has to negotiate his way through these zombies to get to this army camp to get what he needs to get out. It's quite a good film. I'd enjoy it, G. You'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I'll probably watch it end of this week.
It's got elements of Mad Max in the sense that, these, warlords taking over control, and so they're not just fighting the zombies, they're fighting against this warlord as well. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So humans versus humans as well as humans versus zombies.
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah.
Humans are the worst ones in our zombie outbreak.
Yeah,
mate. I'd rather...
Yeah, that's a good choice there, John.
Yeah, nice one, John.
Good choice, John.
Right,
anyone else have it now?
Go cool.
Yeah, number 3. Okay, and you kind of slightly touched up on this earlier, actually. My number 3 was a movie. Okay, it's a clue. Let's see if you guys can get it. It's a movie that came out on Christmas Day. Does anyone know what movie this is?
It's a Pixar film.
You're smiling. Yeah, because you watched it with your kids. I watched it by myself. In fact, my cousin who was at my house over Christmas. It's Soul. Yeah, it's Pixar.
Dude, that's really good. I love that.
Oh, mate. You know something? Okay, again, I'm going to blurb the story because I was kind of confused again, like what it was about. But I remember just, again, being another tearjerker. So it's a story that kind of follows a middle school music teacher named Joe Gardner, who's basically voiced by Jamie Foxx, who seeks to reunite his soul and his body after they are accidentally separated, just before his big break as a jazz musician. Now, I kind of I'm into different kind of music, but last year I've been getting a lot into jazz and kind of new jazz
is awesome.
and that kind of scene. It's so awesome, and I'm like, oh my god, why was I not listening to this all my life? It's just beautiful, and this movie, the music in it, oh my god, it's just phenomenal.
That's why I want to
really. Yeah, and like, imagine like, for example, okay, you film something, but having an animation of, these jazz musicians playing it, it's tremendous. But I mean, that aside, the story itself is really heartwarming. I'm so happy this movie came out on Christmas Day. I think for me, I was so excited about this coming out on Christmas Day because I was like, okay, we're at home, we're kind of by ourselves. I was like, this is so good, I can't wait. And I watched it, and I think the only person I had around my house, social bubble, was my cousin. So she lives in Croydon, but she came round, and me and her watched it. And she loved Pixar as well, and we were both just like, she was in tears because it was so emotional. They do this one thing in Pixar movies where they have a montage, and it's really like a life montage. It's kind of that bit. I was watching that, and I was like, "Don't do it."
That's what I avoided that film. I knew it was going to make me cry.
Yeah, is
it on anyone else's list?
Yeah.
No.
Right, so Goku.
I didn't like it though. I've seen it and I love the film.
Right, so Goku, you and me, when this lockdown's over, you and me need to have a chat about this film because I was enjoying it till one specific moment in that movie, and it brought my piss to a boil. I really was aggravated with it.
Are you serious?
Serious.
Okay,
I mean, right. So you got the movie. 3/4 in, something happens, and then it really aggravated me. And then the ending happened. I was like, at the end. It still got me at the end, but you and me need to have a chat about this film, and I'm sorry, it might change your perspective on it. So
I'm excited to hear it. Please,
I want to hear it as well. Oh God, then you might as well talk about it then.
But no, I won't go into it. I won't go into it. But Goku, you talking about jazz? You talk about jazz music. So again, Tim, if you're listening, Tim, he got me into jazz music, and there was a film that came out a couple of years ago called La La Land. I don't know if you remember it at all.
Yeah.
The music in that, the jazz in that is fucking awesome as well. And I just...
On point, mate. Yeah. It's on my Spotify playlist. I love it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Go on, then. Yeah.
No. It's just, and I've always got into jazz music straight after that. I mean, sometimes, when I was DJing and doing long drives home, I put Jazz FM on and just chill to that and whatnot.
Mate, Jazz FM is so cool,
there's one part in Soul that just dubbed my nut.
Right, it's that. Okay, we're going to have this conversation.
We're going to have a good old chat. Sorry, John. Go. Sorry, John.
Two words. Duke Silver.
Yes.
Duke Silver.
Ron Swanson's a.k.a. His music. Oh, there you go. So no, it's good bit Goku. It's a definitely a 4 out of 5 movie for me, but it would have been 5 out of 5 apart from that one scene. That one
bit.
I'm gonna have to watch it now because I did like the trailer for it. So
I'm gonna check it out now.
It's very different, and the thing is, when you watch it, you can tell it's Pixar, but at the same time, it's very un-Pixar-ish, isn't it? And it's And I don't know if you guys know Graham Norton. You know he's in
it. He's the guy on the boat.
I found that hilarious. Yeah, he's one of the ghosts. Yeah, and he does a really cracking job of that. It was really cool. He's a funny guy.
So Big G, what's your number 3, Big G?
Right, my big number 3 is I watched quite recently, and again another Ant-Man recommendation. It is Sputnik. If I'm saying
my number 3 as well.
Wow.
You got your number
3 as well.
Yeah, you deserve it for spoiling my number 2.
See this pattern here between John, Lil G, and Big G.
Right, stop for a sec. So Lil G is your number 3.
Yeah.
And John, what is it for you?
It's not in my 5, but it very nearly was at number 3. I had it.
Okay.
So all right, so Big G and Little G go on this. After this, Little G, all your numbers are done.
I'm basically done. I'm like, what?
Right. So all right, go for it, guys. What is Sputnik?
Go on, John.
Yeah,
Sputnik. Okay, so I'm just going to do the beginning, but I'll let Little G do the rest. Basically, I started this film off thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a sick alien sort of type in space sort of film. Because I saw the trailer glimpse of it, and the first 10 minutes, it was just like, okay, yeah. And then, like, after that, I was like, it's not in space. Like, without spoilers, I was like, oh, it's not in space. And I was like, oh, man. Because I was like, beefing myself up to, like, a space sort of alien sort of type of film. And all of a sudden, so I was kind of knocked down a little bit. But, boy, it kind of just threw me off after that because the idea of this alien film is pretty badass. So I'll let little G.
Yeah. Okay, so it's taking place in like Russia. Well, these Russian astronauts, and then it starts off they're flying down, I think, back to Earth, and and something happens as they're landing, and some sort of accident, some shit happens. You don't know exactly what's happened. It's landed, and like one of them is hurt, like serious hurt. The other one is alive, and someone finds them. From then they go into a military base, and like from there, it's like they recruit this lady from like she's a scientist. They bring her around to check something out, and she's not aware of the situation. Okay, so she comes there and she basically analyzes this guy who survived. One of them survived, one of them's dead. Okay, but they've got him locked up in this military base, and they're kind of hiding stuff from her. They told her to just do an interview with her and see what's up with him. She doesn't know anything. We don't know anything.
What is she? She's a physiotherapist. Some sort of psychologist. Psychologist or sort of
mind.
Yeah.
That's it. And like she has to interview this guy, and as she's interviewing it, they say, well, "Do you feel anything? Is it anything up with him or anything like that?" But you don't find out. Like she finds out a brief detail, but then she finds out later she's hiding something. So. Like, I don't know how to... I mean, it's all right to spoil this, right? It's a good film. It's a very good film.
Well, it's Russian, so no one's going to watch it, so yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so basically we find out that, like, they show her this secret thing, okay? And at 1 o'clock, something comes out of this guy's body, okay? And she's watching it, and it's something nasty, like some sort of alien parasite. We don't know if it's a parasite or symbiote. Yeah. Comes out from his mouth, and it forms into, like, it stands up. And we're like, what the fuck is that? And it comes out at 1 o'clock, and it leaves at 3. It goes back to his body at 3 o'clock. All right, and like that, I'm gonna leave it there. And basically, we don't know if it's a parasite or not. But the twist is because no one's gonna. I mean, you said I can spoil it. Like, it basically the guy can control it. Like he's like you find out later on as it goes on, he's controlling it. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, that's a twist. Like, he can actually control it because as he goes on, he tells him.
There's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. It's a symbiote. It's not a parasite, it's a symbiote. They can only live with,
Yeah, he's aware. When the creature's out of him, he's aware what the creature's doing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because it's a weird twist. Because throughout the film, you think, okay, as soon as you find out there's an alien in this guy's body, you think, okay, when is this all going to kick off? When is it going to like mutate?
Yeah.
When is it going to kill people? You're like waiting, and all of a sudden it's just a different. It's like, oh shit! You figure out that he can control it and shit. It was like pretty cool, and I thought, you know what, the way it looked and the alien looks and stuff was pretty cool.
Oh, the alien, especially when it was on the heat seek camera. There's a scene where you can see on a heat seek camera.
That was good.
Yeah, I swear to God, I was looking around my floor watching this at home, thinking, "Shit, man, I hope this ain't here." I had trouble going to my bedroom. It's really scary.
Yeah, the way it comes out his mouth, that was good.
Oh man. No, thank you.
That was freaky, yeah.
So let me run this by you. So at 1 a.m, the Russian guy goes, "It's your turn," and then he goes, "No, it's my turn."
No. Basically, he gets knocked out. You later find out that they knock him out every night or something in the medicine, and they figure out not 1 o'clock at 3 o'clock it comes out for a certain amount. And then it just goes back inside of sort of thing. It kind of it kind of heals him as well. It gives him powers and stuff like that. But I just thought it was like a different take. It's like basically,
it's like the ending of it.
Nice.
It's like you have an alien inside you and you can control it, sort of thing. I thought, that's a pretty cool.
I thought that was
cool sort of idea.
Different twist on the whole sci-fi horror thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're expecting it all to kick off, and all of a sudden it's like, no, let's just go on a different track. And I thought, okay, that's pretty cool.
Even then, they could have done a lot more with it. You know, I was thinking, oh shit, maybe because he's got the girl who's like the protagonist, and she's basically got her like trying to help him out with the situation. So I was thinking maybe he is a parasite. Maybe he's like the thing kind of thing, you know, kind of become that being himself and is being being that person, acting it. So I thought maybe she was using it to get out. So they could have done anything with that, and it was pretty smart. Like they could have done quite a bit with it, but
it
was a unique twist. Yeah.
Another thing in the
Did you
that's what I was going to talk about, because throughout the film you see this flashback of this little kid, and you think it's the astronaut's son.
Yeah,
and you find out it's actually the nurse that's helping him, because you find out why she goes the extra mile to help people and stuff, sort of thing. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because you're thinking it's a boy throughout the whole movie until the end, and you're like, oh, it's her. It's just short hair. That was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, good choice.
I enjoyed it.
Good choice. Good number 3. And Little G, good top 5, even though they've all gone now.
He hasn't done his number 1. Has he done number 1 already?
Yeah,
Time to Hunt was my number 1.
Was number 1.
Oh, okay.
Right, so very quickly, my number 3 is... It's probably going to be my horror film of 2020, and it's a movie called Saint Maud.
Oh, I haven't seen.
So I literally got to see this when the cinemas reopened. They put a few new releases in, and my friend Tim mentioned this film. I'd seen the trailer for it or so on TV or whatever, and I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. And so we went to go see it literally before the cinemas reclosed back in October, November. It's very hard to explain this movie without spoiling it for you, so I'll just be very vague. It's about a nurse called Maud. She's like an Irish newborn Catholic who is she goes to look after an American actress, an old American actress who's kind of dying of cancer. But the film emphasizes a lot on mental illness, like someone with mental health might see like death as life, but we might see their death as death, for example. It's very weird how I'm explaining this to you, but something happens in the movie that no one in that cinema saw, and I fucking shat myself. No one saw it coming, and that is just beyond. It was just, you got so into the film because it's a very dark and depressing film. Don't get me wrong, but it is watchable. I wouldn't go out and buy it or anything, but I would definitely say it's worth a watch just to say you've seen it once. And just to get that reaction, I would love you guys to come over and watch it. Just to see your reaction. It'd be fantastic. But
on the list, when we're able to go back out again, we'll come watch it again.
I totally. So it's again, it's really difficult without having not to spoil it. So I'll leave it just there now. Saint Maud, number 3.
Yeah, and is anyone big in that movie? Is anyone famous? Or?
No, I think it's because it's a British horror film.
Okay.
So it's very independent. So a lot of, I think there is maybe one person you might recognise, like maybe from British TV or something, but no one I can go, oh, she was in this or she was in that sort of thing.
Right.
Oh, actually, no, tell a lie. Did anyone see BBC's Dracula?
Yeah.
There's one of the nuns from that is the star of Saint Maud. So
okay, right.
You might recognise her from that, but apart from that, no. No, that's my number 3. Okay. So we're down to the last 2. John, what's your number 2, sir?
My number 2 is The Gentleman.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Yes.
I must admit, I'm a sucker for a Guy Ritchie movie anyway. I'm one of these that Guy Ritchie can't make a bad one. You know what I mean? Even though he probably has made a couple. But
I honestly thought that was going to be number 1.
It very nearly was, to be fair, but this other film got me more. So I just love the pairing in it, the acting in it. I mean, Hugh Grant, I would never have said that was Hugh Grant in that film.
He played a good part.
If I had gone in blind, I'd be trying to figure out who the fuck he was,
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I've been trying to figure out who the hell is this person. He looks familiar, but he doesn't sound like who I think. Do you know what I mean? And then when you realise it's Hugh Grant, it literally blows you away. Matthew McConaughey as well. He's quite a good actor anyway.
He's a damn good actor, man.
I just loved this movie. I really, really did, and it's typical. As I said, it's typical Guy Ritchie. So
yeah.
I definitely enjoyed it.
Film.
It's very typical.
I did enjoy it.
It's very typical Guy Ritchie, but I kind of felt, I don't know if John, you had the same sort of experience with it there. The film was kind of leading up to like a little twist at the end, and it was just a basic twist. It wasn't anything that was too.
It could have been
like you sussed it out before it happened, sort of thing.
It could have been a better reveal, shall we say, at the end. I like the way, because I like how Guy Ritchie does it. He's like he's telling a story. So of course the gentleman you've got, it's Hugh Grant's character. He's like wrote this screenplay and he knows all these gangsters and he's explaining his story and who he meets and it's just so good.
Yeah,
it's like it goes back. It does every now and again. It goes backwards and forwards with certain scenes, but that was quite good how they did that. Like the scene where Matthew McConaughey's in the pub and he's on the phone talking, and then he realised something's in trouble, and then you hear this shot and blood across the table. You think, shit, someone's walking behind us, killed him. And then the film goes on, and then you go back later on, you realise that the shot was his buddy killing the bloke who was going to kill him. So it's very, very good.
Spoilers. That's like a big spoiler. Okay.
Yeah, but only one
well, it's over a year old now. Hopefully, people have seen it by now. So
it's on Prime.
I enjoyed it.
Sorry, Gokul.
Yeah, check it out. It's good. It's decent.
Sorry, Gokul. Say that again.
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Yes, it is.
I saw it like on the. Ooh, this weekend's going to be watching all your recommendations. I can't wait, honestly.
Yeah, I've got quite a few here.
Yeah, nice.
Good choice.
So, Gokul, number 2, sir.
Yes. Oh, number 2. Okay. I will be very surprised if any of you saw this, only because, the availability of it, but also it's just a movie that I've kind of forgotten about until... Basically, it's a movie that's on a streaming service. I don't think any of you have got. It's Apple TV+. And it's a movie that Apple decided to buy last minute because they were like, lockdown is happening, and it's got a huge A-list celebrity. It's got Tom Hanks in it. It's a movie called Greyhound.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, sorry.
At the World War II one.
Okay.
Is it World War II on a ship?
That's right. Yeah,
and I haven't seen it.
It's. I mean, I never went out to buy Apple Plus. It's only because I think I bought like an iPad last year. So you get 1 year's worth free on it, and I'm like, but there's some really good stuff on that, which we'll talk about on another episode, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But Greyhound came on. I was like, okay, we'll watch this. And again, you mentioned we were talking about should this movie have come out on the cinema, and I thought, this would have been great.
It was meant to have a theatrical release. I was going to take my dad to see it.
That's right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, and then it came out on Apple TV, and I'm glad it did. Obviously Apple. They've got money to buy this movie, especially Tom Hanks, movie in it, right? But I can't help but think, there's this theory, and guys, I'm sure you know about this. Like they talk about the snow globe, like everyone's kind of connected in the TV world or something like that. And I'm sure, if this was in the movie world, this idea that Tom Hanks, in Saving Private Ryan. It's not the same guy, but it's he so easily could play an army man or a naval officer in World War II. He plays that role so well, even after watching Saving Private Ryan, and seeing him in this. And it's a movie. The reason why it's in my top number 2 is because again, I watching that movie thinking I was a sailor on that boat on the USS Greyhound or whatever, and again with just this idea of. You're not hearing, you can see a torpedo, but you can't hear it. And when it hits your boat and, it's kind of like that scene from Dunkirk, when the soldiers are inside the ship, the hull of the ship, and it turns over and you're like, oh my God, imagine being there. It's that scene was kind of throughout the whole movie. Don't you think, Anne? You really felt like, you've seen around, you felt like you were kind of on this ship, and it was really, really well done. Again, one thing that I thought this was based on a true story. Apparently it's not. It's kind of all a fiction, but it's based on Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but it was, it was really, really good. The way they kind of portrayed, a battleship movie and going on the waves and stuff like that. It's the little things, it really did stand out to me. And I watched that and I thought, this is a ride. I finished it and I got seasick. So
It's only on Apple though, yeah.
It is, yeah.
I mean,
it is.
I think it doesn't it take place over like 48 hours, and there's a countdown. There's like 32 hours till airborne.
That's right.
And all that sort of stuff, and it's like
the bombardment and stuff.
That's right, yeah. And I don't know if you got the same feeling, Gokul, but there was parts in that where I was just like I was feeling tired for the sailors because they couldn't go to bed, they couldn't sleep or anything.
Exactly, yeah, because they were constantly awake. Like they were, honestly, if they were falling asleep, then they would get the shit bombed out.
And there was a part where they were constantly they were overusing their feet. I think even Tom Hanks's character, his feet bleeds because they couldn't change. They couldn't do anything. They were constantly on call, and I was getting tired watching that, man.
Definitely, I think I had a few cups of coffee.
Very good choice. I honestly didn't see that coming. That's a very good choice. So well done.
Thank you.
Good show, man.
Yeah, you guys recommend it.
I've added it to my list, so that and St. Maud, I'm going to check it out soon.
Yeah, same here.
No, watch St. Maud here. Come watch St. Maud over here, man.
Okay.
I seriously need to record that shit. Right, so Big G, number 2, sir. What's your number 2?
My number 2 got spoiled by who said it? Time to Hunt. I think John. He spoiled it.
John.
Time to Hunt. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah. So
that's your number 2. All right, sorry. Right, we'll go to my number 2. Right, so my number 2, it might be someone else's number 1. So I apologise to you now, which was obviously the big Oscar winner last year, and that's Parasite.
Oh my God, that was 2020.
I totally forgot.
No, that was last year. No.
Yeah.
I had it in my list again.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was wicked.
Oh my God.
And thank you so much.
Are you serious?
Oh,
yeah, dude,
is it on no one else's list?
No.
Oh, shit.
I swear that's 2019. I swear it's 2019.
So going back to what I was saying, it was meant to be released. We were meant to have it in December 2019, and it got pushed back to January because of it being nominated for Oscars and whatnot. So in theory, we would have had it sooner, but we didn't. We got it released in our country in 2020. So that's why I was asking. That's why I asked you guys if it was okay to put it on the list and keep it, and you guys were cool.
Right, okay. So, you know what? I had it down as 2019. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's fine.
So so it had to go on it. It was my number 1, but I've literally swapped it over because my number 1 is something I watched recently, and I friggin' love it, but I'll go into that in a second. Anyway, Parasite needs no introduction. Everyone knows about this movie last year. Big award winner. And, Korean cinema's finally getting this,
Yeah.
People actually noticing Korean films.
Yeah, it's a good one, man.
You know what I love about that is, it's like we've been watching Korean film for ages, and then like everyone's like, oh, have you seen? As soon as it won Oscar, everyone's like, oh yeah, Parasite. It's like, what? Come on, man.
Because you guys,
I kind of feel like
you guys came round mine at the beginning of the year last year, and you all come round and watched it, and you guys had like a good time watching that. It was it was the first time I watched it with you guys as well, so it was like really enjoyable film, And there's just so much to it. It's got a bit of comedy. It's got a bit of drama. It's got a bit of, heist in it sort of thing. And the story to it, I won't go into the story too much because people need to see this movie. It's, go in blind and just enjoy it, And,
it's one of, definitely going blind. Definitely going blind.
Because I went in thinking this was a zombie movie because of Parasite or something like that.
Yes.
Totally not. And it was so much better than what I expected.
And Gokul, if you go back and watch some of the early trailers for that film, it is actually advertised or looks advertised as a horror film. So,
no way. Oh, so that kind of threw people off.
Exactly.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Lighthouse psychological horror.
Exactly.
Yes. Exactly.
You also, I know we're going off topic, but you also mentioned another film that's very similar to it, a White Tiger or something like that.
Yeah, so White Tiger's on Netflix, and it's basically the Indian version of Parasite.
I'm gonna check it out.
We're gonna have to go back and talk about Parasite. But did you think that was basically Slumdog directed by David Fincher? It felt like it had that kind of dark
Parasite.
No, the White Tiger. The White Tiger.
Oh yeah, by far. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We have to talk about that in the future, and that was great.
Okay, but you might ruin White Tiger for me, like I'll ruin Soul for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go on, Parasite.
Parasite.
Yeah.
Guys, like, I have to say, you're talking about Gal, your movie, the one with the levels. I've got the name of it now. Sorry.
Platform.
Yeah, Platform. Sorry, it's like that in a sense, isn't it? It's like the rich and the poor, and again, thinking about now, why you mentioned White Tiger Ant, it's the same thing. It's like the clashing of the rich and the poor worlds, and it makes the rich look really vulnerable. And these, like they really are, even though they got money and stuff, you can easily work your way into that shit and live the life.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the thing I love about the poor family is that when they do actually get the rich out of the house for the weekend and they spend the weekend in their house, you would do exactly what they would do. You would be in their bed, you would get in their pajamas, and you would eat their foods. And then that scene where they come home early is fucking incredible. We were all laughing our asses off in that film. But then I love how the movie takes a dark turn towards like the end of it, sort of thing. When they open they find the other room. Let's just say that, and it's just like, oh my goodness, it's like this movie's just done a complete U-turn. So
I think we've mentioned it before as well. It's the weird comedy in it that. Like, I think people sometimes watching it first time, they don't understand it. But obviously, as time you watch it and you're like, it's actually hilarious. Like, in a serious moment or point, it's just like, you just cracking up laughing at like a serious point. And Korean do it so well at that. And it's just every year there's like...
Do you remember the part where it's all in the dark? And the light goes past, but he's lying down still on the floor, trying to blend in. It's so good.
That's what I'm looking at. I need to watch it again, man.
He's such a great actor. I fucking love that dude.
But what I want to know is, like, not just the acting, Lindsay. Sometimes the way they, like, say things, I want to, like, I think only... if you're a Korean, you would know. I think like doing it on purpose, because there's scenes where like they like acting, and for us it's funny, but I want to know is that normal, or are we laughing at it because the way he's saying it?
I think it's in the terms of dark comedy, isn't it? It's comedy where you don't know whether to laugh at it or not.
Yeah. Because there's some scenes I'm just like, am I laughing at it because the way he said it? Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, you can't help but laugh, even though you shouldn't.
The reason why I'm saying is when we end of the show, I'll mention another film which is not on my list, and I'll mention it and refer back to this.
Yeah. Amazing. So that's my number 2. We're down to the final ones, apart from Little G. Sorry, Little G. Yours got ruined.
Hey, Gal, innit? Gal, you're done as well, right?
No, I got my number 1.
Right. So, John, sir, your number 1 of 2020. What is it, Big Johnny boy?
Well, I very nearly had Parasite as my number 1.
Okay.
When I was going through lists of films that I really, really enjoyed, I came across a film that picked Parasite, unfortunately. So I had. So my number 1 is The Call.
Oh yeah, that's a good film.
Korean film.
Yeah,
cool. I didn't think that'd be your number 1 though.
The concept of that film, Ken, how it does make you think, what if, and what would you do if you were in that situation? You know, you would do exactly what that girl wanted to do. You know, it's basically about a girl. Her mum's not very well. She lives out in the country in Korea. So she goes to visit her mum. She loses her phone, her mobile phone, because it's set in 2019. And when she gets to the house, she's going through some boxes and things, and she finds a cordless phone. So because she needs to use a phone and she's lost hers, she plugs in the cordless phone, and at some point the phone rings. So she picks it up thinking it's who she's rung earlier. And there's this girl on the end of the phone saying, "Help me, I think my mum's trying to kill me," and all this sort of thing. So it turns out that the girl on the other end of the phone is another girl in the same house, but 20 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So the two of them end up working together. So the girl in the future is trying to help the girl in the past, and of course thinks, so she gets her dad dies in a fire. So she gets the girl to go to the house where, where her and her dad live, and she ends up saving her dad's life. So then her now, shall we say, changes. Now her dad's still alive, and so on, and her mum and dad are still together, which they weren't before, and so on. So, but then of course the girl in the past is kind of forgotten about. And so
leave it like that. Leave it like that. I don't think girls could see that.
It's very. I won't say anything. You should watch it.
And that's something you've watched very recently as well.
Yes.
Oh my God! It's like this whole we're talking about time.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Watch it. It's good. Yeah.
And Goku is Korean.
That's it.
Korean. Even
all of these are Korean, man. I was contemplating putting them in my list.
We might as well have just done the top 5 Korean movies, really.
Yeah. 3 of my films were Korean, so
wow.
Only one was mine.
Yeah, only one. Only one was mine.
Only one. Yeah, because Gal, I know, Gal, you kind of told me how much you love kind of time travel movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, is that's what it is ultimately, isn't it? It's kind of like you said, what's happening in the past, like you're saying, John, what happens in the past affects the future. And so it's a bit like in Looper, there's a scene where he cuts his finger off and he looks at his finger and it disappears. And stuff like that. It's kind of
that's exactly how I told these guys when I recommended it to him. It's the Korean Looper.
Really?
Simple as.
It's the Korean Looper. No way. Oh,
the thing is,
it's a very good film, and if you haven't seen it,
it's good film.
It's like Ant said. I only watched it a couple of weeks ago. It's on Netflix.
Oh wow! Okay,
I'm really kind of getting into the Korean films and the Korean vibe now, and I got to the end of the film. And I was like, "Holy fuck!" I've recommended it to my daughter and my mom, and must watch because it's such a good film. So, good shot.
Good job. That's a good pick, dude. Very surprised. Very surprised you picked that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I didn't want to go along with the lines of 2017 and so on. I mean, I was going to put 2017, and I thought, everyone else will have that. There must be some other film.
1917.
So that's what I did. I went back through all the films I've seen, and I thought, you know what? And I had 10 or 11 films, and I kept thinking, and I literally came up with this 5. But originally I did have Parasite as number 1, and it was only until only yesterday that I changed it.
Nice.
So,
nice save.
Dynamic.
Right, so Goku, number 1, sir. I've got a feeling what this is, but go, sir, go.
I think you know what it is already.
I know what it is.
Should I just say it backwards? Can it?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't you dare!
It's my number 1 as well.
Well done, Gal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gal. Okay,
it has to be
towards Lil G. Yeah. Tenet was a good movie.
Yeah.
I can't believe you said that. You should be ashamed. Seriously.
I don't understand why.
Is that all of your number 1? Is that Ant's number 1 as well?
No.
Oh, thank God, Ant. Yes.
Go on, Gal.
I'm going to start with the negative.
Yeah,
the only disappointment with that film is the sound. I couldn't hear the characters. I don't know if it was my cinema or whatever, but the sound was the only thing.
What film are we talking about?
Tenet.
Going on to positive, I'm a sucker for going on the positive. I'm a sucker for love time travel. The reason why the call didn't make it is because I just think I kind of have too time travel films in, and Tenet just beats it. And just imagine someone scripting that. How confusing is that? And then conveying it onto the screen. That is mind-boggling.
Exactly.
And it's a masterpiece.
It's a clever film, I'll give you that. But
it's clever, man.
Definitely.
It's amazing.
No, that's another thing. He's a good director. He created a good script, but it doesn't mean for the viewers it's bullshit. It's just what? It's complicated. It's too complicated. It's just not needed. No, it's not. It's too complicated. No, dude. I watched that film twice. Okay, I thought, it's Christopher Nolan. I watched it once. I thought, maybe I missed out a few stuff. I went back to the cinema. Yeah, not a couple of weeks after to watch it again. I did not understand it. I get the concept, but it's just what? what the hell? Why am I having to work so hard to understand this film?
Right,
and at the end, I was like, this film's shit. It's actually pretty shit.
Because you don't understand it.
Because you didn't understand it.
No. It's not like I'm an idiot.
You just said.
No. I get it, but it's just like, why are you making it this, like, it's frustrating. It's like, what the hell? And it's just like, there's no need for it to be this complicated. You know what I'm saying? What he did was, he saw like such a good idea, and he thought, I'm going to fuck the mind out of everyone, but that's it. It's not really entertaining. I didn't enjoy it. I really did not enjoy any part of it. Like, the only bit I understand is the end.
Right.
Like, we won't go into detail. I understood the whole thing, but the end was the only bit. Oh wow, that's a nice little twist here and there. I don't know, but it's just. I think it was shit. I think you guys are lying to yourself that you enjoyed it, because I think you didn't. Like, anyone who's saying that's in the top one. Well,
I loved it so much. I bought it.
I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't put it in my top 5.
No, I did not enjoy it.
Number 10 for me.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's everyone's opinion. I mean, I remember, like, I let Goku do his bit. I just want to talk about. I remember watching a 5-minute trailer in the cinema, and I was sold then, and I was just like, "Oh my days!" That was.
It has its moments. It has its moments, but
Yeah.
Before,
one of the best soundtracks ever.
Goku, before you go into it,
Go on,
Big G, you were saying how do they write stuff like that? Yeah, right. Hear me out. So apparently, Christopher Nolan wrote it forwards, and then he wrote it backwards.
That's a dick.
Right.
That's a good one.
Right, Goku. Explain your number one, sir.
Okay. No, it was it's top 5 movies. It kind of straight went to number 1. I kind of said before I did this list, it's going to be number 1. There's a reason for it, because for me, Christopher Nolan, I love his movies so much, and he's just like, he's the way he does his movies, all the way from the first movie that he did, Insomnia. Well, I think that wasn't officially his first movie, but his first kind of big blockbuster, all the way through Memento, the Dark Knights, the Batmans and the Inception and everything. And watching Inception, I remember, guys, a few years ago, we did this thing on Facebook, and he said your top 5 movies of all time. And I think you started that and you passed it on to every person.
Well, we haven't done that episode yet, so don't.
Oh, that's
don't
coming
spoil
up.
it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil my number 1, but it's a Christopher Nolan movie. But it's kind of, and but Tenet, because of the fact that it was confusing. Don't get me wrong, it still is. Even now, I've watched all these YouTube explained videos. Like, I spent whole night trying to understand the forwards, the backwards, the significance of the red team and the blue team, and all this and all that. But when I was watching the special features, and just understanding this movie, you kind of love it more. And also, for example, guys, I'll ask you a question, right? Okay, how many special effects scenes do you think this movie had? Like, special effects, like the visual effects, like.
I wouldn't think very many. I wouldn't think very many.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay, I kind of did a quick thing. So, if you can relate this, I don't know if you can relate it to Skyfall, but it's because it's like an agent movie, isn't it? It's kind of like this agent and stuff like that. Skyfall had something like 1,300 special effects scenes. Tenet, only had 300. And the craftsmanship in the movie is basically the editing at the end. So they filmed it, but it's all in the editing. And it's like, they made this movie look so good, from just editing a movie, it was Christopher Nolan said it was pretty easy to film this movie. It was just the editing that was the hardest part, because you're kind of doing it forwards and backwards and stuff like that. That's one of the many things. But Gal touched on the music. So there's new guy who's coming up now called Goran. His name is Ludwig Göransson. So he's done the soundtrack to Mandalorian. He did Fruitvale Station and stuff like that, and he did Tenet. And this is whole this relationship between Nolan and Hans Zimmer. And Hans Zimmer turned around and said, listen, you need to give this movie to this guy because he's got some really good ideas. And there's one song in that, one soundtrack in that, which is called The Rainy Night in Tallinn, which is that 5-minute thing you were talking about, Gal. And when I hear that, I'm just it's so beautiful. It's just there's one scene in it which is so thumping. It's just great. There's so many aspects in that movie, but I really enjoyed it. So for me, for it to be number 1, I went to the cinema.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
You say you've seen it a few times. You watch YouTube videos. You watched all that. You've seen the special feature. Regardless of that, if you didn't watch any of that, did you really think you enjoyed it? If you didn't know anything about the special features, would you really enjoy? Honestly, tell me honestly. Yeah, without looking Christopher Nolan's bum cheeks, just tell me, did you like the film? Like, please, no, seriously. I think you're just chatting crap. I think you guys are lying to yourself. Tell me you enjoyed that film. Did you watch any of that? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
Okay. If you did, can you tell me one thing, both of you? Can you explain to the audience what this film's about in the best way possible?
Yeah, straight up. Okay, so basically, So basically, I'm going backwards in time now. No, it's about, there's a guy who's the protagonist. Okay. See, this is the thing, because if I explain it, it's going to kind of spoil it. But it's this idea that he's a guy that's basically trying to...
There's nothing to spoil, because anyone goes into it, they will not understand what the fuck you're talking about all the film. So you go ahead.
That makes sense. Okay. So basically, it's like him basically trying to stop the end of the world. And the way he's going to do this is by collecting 9 pieces of this isotope that make up this nuclear device, right? That's kind of like the main story. And that's basically it. That's the blood.
Right. Let me just...
Right. But there's more to it.
The question you're asking is stupid, because any time travel film doesn't make sense, because it's physically impossible. You can't, right? It's the concept. And the way the reason why I appreciate this film.
Can you explain the time travel concept to me? Can you, from your explanation of watching the film, can you just explain the time travel? Because say I don't know what time travel is. What is it? Let
me finish my piece, right? Because, like I said, like time travel in its way, it's physically impossible, right? The idea is cool. That's why I'm a sucker. Like I said before, I'm a sucker for time travel. The idea that you can go back in time and change something, and it changes the future. I love that. I love the idea, simplicity. But you can't, there is, I don't think you can do that. But the way he did it was just like completely different take. Like, and I appreciate that. And I thought, you know what, that's actually quite cool.
Okay, you haven't answered my question. So,
what was your question?
Could you explain time travel, please?
Well, we might need to say that for another episode, because that could go on all day if you do that.
No, but that's what I'm trying to tell you, because it's not real. So how can I explain it to you?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Anyway, it's then number one. Goku, would you like to hear an impression?
Yes. Please.
Right, so I'm going to give you an impression of Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer's music in Christopher Nolan films since Inception. Now, Inception is my favorite Christopher Nolan film, right? But ever since he made Inception, this is what the sound you hear in every Christopher Nolan film. Ready?
Okay, go for it. Go on.
Boom! 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 You go back and watch Inception, or watch the trailer for Inception. Yeah. All his films from then on has that same sound, and that's essentially what Hans Zimmer's music is in Christopher Nolan movies.
Liberties, mate.
In every movie, I swear, even in Dunkirk, there's a bit of that in it.
Go back and watch it. Yeah. Go back and watch it, dude.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. So you get that, or you get this. Wait. So you've had the bong, right? He even does that, or he goes, listen, ready? Now go back. Right. Even if you watch The Dark Knight, which was out before Inception, the very first bit of music is.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's his signature.
Anyway, so Tenet, number ones. Your number ones.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm number one against Emra.
Now,
what was Little G's number one, by the way?
I'll do one in a sec.
Little G's.
Little G's was Time to Hunt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So is Tenet your number one because you ordered it in the morning and it came in the evening, delivered?
I news about that. Okay, so it was New Year's Eve, right? And we weren't going anywhere. We're sitting at home. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch a movie tonight. And I happened to order Tenet. So the idea was supposed to come on New Year's Day because we were staying at home. And I get a notification. And I say this in terms of timing, right, guys? And I live in like South London. I put the order through. You guys saw the screenshot with the time on the top. I put it in at 10:34 in the morning. Right? When do you think this arrived? And this is through Standard Prime, right? It came literally 6 hours later. It was on the doorstep.
Nice.
It was there, and it blew me away. And I was like, oh, I love it.
Maybe
That's why I said you're number one.
Maybe because you went back in time and then you went forward.
Yeah, I kind of ordered it at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you went back and you was the postman that delivered it to yourself.
That was the sound of the postman walking up the road.
I'm telling you, go put on the Dark Knight. Put on the Dark Knight or Inception. That'll be the first bit. Right, so very good.
He's trying to ruin Nolan films for you.
No, I'm not ruining Nolan films. I'm ruining Hans Zimmer's basic score.
Liberties.
Right, so very good pick, guys. Very good pick. Apart from Little G, doesn't agree.
Nice.
Very good pick.
Yeah.
Right, so went down to my last one.
Yeah.
So my number one, you guys won't know it. I saw this. Funny enough, I found this movie through TikTok, which is so friggin' weird to say. So scrolling through TikTok, beginning of December, flicking through, and there was a scene of this movie just randomly on TikTok, and then I was like, this looks friggin' awesome. So I look at the comments, what's the name of this movie, and found the name of the movie. So this movie basically is an Australian film that was picked up by Paramount Pictures and funded by Paramount Pictures, and it is a movie called Love and Monsters.
Wow.
Right, I'll show you a picture of it here. I got it in 4K.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Right, so if you've ever seen the Maze Runner films, it stars Dylan O'Brien, who's the main guy from Maze Runner. The premise of the story is basically a meteor hits Earth. So instead of it destroying Earth and destroying the people on it, it mutates the insects of the world. So snails, spiders, millipedes, everything is ginormous and mutatedly to kill the human race, essentially. So we go into apocalypse, and we all have to live underground now because all these massive insects are trying to kill us now.
Sold as well.
No. Hold on. So that's the serious side to it. This movie is actually a comedy. Yeah. So it's about Dylan O'Brien, right? He has a girlfriend, whatnot, and the meteorite happens, and they split up. Okay. Everyone hides underground. He hides one side of America, and his girlfriend hides on the other side of America, which is very Death Stranding like. You've got to get to one end of the country.
Yes.
And obviously they're talking to one another through radio, because it's not safe to go outside. They've been doing this for a couple of years now, and all of a sudden he doesn't get any answer from his girlfriend, so he's like, shit, something's happened, I need to go rescue her. So the rest of the story is him to go out, be brave enough, because he's like a little, I'm scared to do this, I'm scared to do that sort of character. Goes out into the world and basically has to fight through all these monsters to get to his girlfriend. And it has a bit of everything. It has a bit of comedy, has a bit of action, has a bit of thrills, has a bit of scariness to it. There's even one scene which is very nail-biting, like Time to Hunt. And I was just like, oh, it's going to happen. And the effects of this, for a small budget, low independent film, some of the effects in this are fucking incredible. Are really, really good.
Wow, and really?
I highly recommend you watch it. I mean, I recommend you come see it here and watch it in the 4K. If you can't wait, then obviously watch it. I had to watch it on download in the end, and then eventually bought the 4K. But I had such a blast watching Love and Monsters. Some of the comedy here is very The Office or Parks and Recreations type comedy in this film.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
But some of the effects of this are just brilliant. You can tell it's very, you can tell like it looks like it's been done by the Peter Jackson Company. Like some of the insects and stuff.
Okay.
Man, it sounds amazing.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's just like, I just can't.
Sounds...
So go on.
No, I'm actually like intrigued. I really want to watch it.
No, honestly,
I'm already picturing it in my head like how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a lot of fun. And it's just how one of those films where you just have a good time with it. It has a lot of heart to this film, and it doesn't have anyone. I think the only big star in it is Michael Rooker. He played Yondo in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the guy with the little spear that goes. The blue guy.
Mary Poppins.
Hondo, yeah.
So he pops up. He basically has a cameo in it. But guys, I can't recommend it enough. I mean, if you can't wait to watch it here, download it, watch it. It's a very, very good film.
Yeah, I'm sold. I really want to watch it now.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, and when you saw this, did you think, oh my, you never expected it to be this good, and you watched it? And
no
like,
chance.
Clearly, wow.
This could be another podcast. Is a film you watched that you really, really enjoyed, and what led you to the film? Because to be fair, I've watched films, heard a song in the background, tracked the song because I want to hear the whole song, and find the band that wrote it, and then you find that they wrote music for another film, and so and so's in it. I'll give that a watch, and then you watch it. Fuck me, that was bloody good.
Yeah.
But you would never have known about that film had you not heard the song in the first film you watched. So I think that could be a good podcast.
I mean, Parasite was going to be my number one, but the thing is, when I pick my choices, I kind of pick them on the accountability of rewatching it. Like, would I rewatch Parasite more than Love and Monsters? No, because I would probably I would love to watch Love and Monsters more. As much as I love Parasite, I would watch that movie more or introduce it to you more than obviously other things like that. But total big recommendation, guys. I'm kind of worried because I thought some of you might have seen it.
No.
Oh wow.
No, I've seen the posters and stuff, but never it never interested me. But the way you described it, I'm just like, wow, okay, that sounds sick.
Yeah, it's like
definitely.
I like the difference how a meteorite usually hits Earth. The world is broken and it's all desolate, apocalypse. With this thing, it's different. Like the world around us now has grown. Like the nature has grown. The insects have gotten bigger. It's totally reversed what a devastating meteorite would hit.
Wow, that's so cool. So, is it like the world is kind of destroyed, and this is a few years after the impact, or is it kind of
it's kind of destroyed, but nature has grown over the destruction. But the destruction has only been caused. The destruction has only been caused by these giant insects. It's not been caused by the meteorite.
Oh, that's genius! So, wow.
And there's the effects of it. I mean, if you can see the trailer, I might put the trailer on WhatsApp for you guys and then judge for yourself. But it is friggin' awesome.
I'm happy to wait and watch it at yours. I look forward to watching that at yours.
I mean, I haven't watched it in 4K, but you've got to give it a go.
I've just had a look. It's not on Netflix Prime, so...
It's literally...
I've definitely seen the poster.
Yeah, I've literally... This actually just came out in the States, like... The 4K came out about a week ago, so...
I mean, the name is familiar. When you said it, I've sure I've heard it before, but
yeah, I think like Big G said, I've come across the poster but never read the trailer or anything.
Yeah. I thought it was just like a dead end movie, but the way you just sold it, and I'm like, I want to come and see it.
Like I said, I wanted to put Time to Hunt and hashtag alive in it and stuff, but again, I don't think I would ever rewatch those films because especially Time to Hunt is one of those ones where it's just once in a lifetime experience. Like if I watch it again, I won't feel that tensity anymore or anything like that at all. Whereas with Love and Monsters, I can go back and rewatch it again and again and really still like it.
The format I go with is like what you said. Can I watch it again? If it's not that, it's something different. Like Time to Hunt. I thought it was just, it puts you on the edge, and hardly any movie does that. And the character was just great, just little things that are different and that make my list.
Exactly.
So that's the format I go by.
Yeah, you touched on it, and as well, that's another reason, actually, Lil G, why I actually liked Tenet. Okay.
No, you don't. Stop lying to yourself.
The rewatchability. You rewatch it and you notice it. It's like watching Inception. It's like you just notice it and it builds, and then you understand
Inception.
When you understand it,
you know what's happened? Yeah, hold on. Sorry, I know we're going on about this. So what Lil G's watched it, right? And then he's gone to his mate, and his mate's probably like, asked him the question.
No.
Like,
I made my own.
He's got influence. He's got influence.
I'm not influenced. No, I just. It's just I'm being smart about it. It's everyone. No one likes it, bro. It's not a hit film. It's bullshit. Like, come on. It's like you're lying to. You guys don't like it because it's.
I'm going to help Little G on this one. I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan, and to me, it is my least favorite of one of his.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
Fair enough. That's your opinion. That's fair enough.
Thank you. Yeah. Look, you guys are lying. I'm pretty sure. Deep down, you two know. Yeah. I do appreciate that. Well, effort and they're like how smart this guy is. Yeah, but some people don't want to see this shit. I don't want to have to I do like to think during watching a movie, but the level that he's done this at is like it's not needed for a movie. It's for something more.
To be fair, I expected more of it. Seeing it out, there was so much hype behind it. I thought, well, it looks good. Christopher Nolan's done.
John's just jumping on their train now. Nah, it was in your top 5.
Right, so guys,
but you two, go on.
Your top 5s are brilliant. We're coming towards the end of the episode. Well done for participating. Really appreciate you coming on the show. Do we have any? Do we have any honourable mentions before we head out?
Yes, I do.
Go for it.
I had a couple. Just bear with me. If someone want to jump in.
So I just want to mention Dark Waters.
Yes.
Oh.
My God. Yeah.
The Trial of the Chicago 7 on Netflix. That's a very good film.
Mate, that was intense. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that's
very
got
good
Gordon
film.
Levitt in it.
What was it? Chicago 7?
The Trial of the Chicago 7. Very good film. It's on Netflix. The Extreme Job Working in a Chicken Shop.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Damn good film.
Korean,
that is
sick. That's all I've got.
And what was the title of that again? Sorry,
the Extreme Job. The Extreme Job Working in a Chicken Shop.
Yeah. Okay, because I want to watch that again. Absolutely.
I don't have a lot, but I got a couple. Sound of Metal. It's about a guy who he's a musician, but he's losing his sound. Check it out; it's really good.
Okay.
Mate, I've
heard of that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I need to see that. Yeah, that's really.
You'll love that film. Another shout out, Hunter. Has anyone heard that on?
The what?
No. And it was basically. I went through like a stage of what I watched. Ant mentioned The Grey.
Yeah, The Grey is awesome.
By Liam Neeson. Yeah, but it's not. I watched that, and then I was like looking into this film, Hunter. Then I watched Wolf of Snow Hollow. It's a 2020 film as well.
That's a good film.
All of these are like wolf. Yeah, and this is what I was trying to mention earlier. That film is kind of like a thriller, but it has a comedy element to it, a weird comedy like Korean.
Yeah.
If you watch it, you'll understand. And I think you agree, right? It's got the weird sort of comedy into it.
Yeah, the guy who made that film, his first film is on Netflix. You should watch it. I think it's called Thunder Road or something like that. You should check it out. It's good.
I know.
Yeah, Thunder Road.
I think it's called that.
Cool.
It might be different. And it's Thunder something, but yeah, his first film was on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, anyway, so anyway, back to my recommendation, Hunter x Hunter. The ending in that is ridiculous. It's like it's a basic story, but the ending is so like, oh man. Okay, Wolf of Snow Hollow, Run, and also Possessor. I don't know. You know, he's the son of that famous director Cronenberg.
The Possessor.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
It didn't make my list. Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's trippy, dude.
Yeah, very trippy. Like,
but
I was watching it.
Does trippy one, so
yeah, I was watching it and I was like, oh man, this looks like it can go in the sort of Tenet, and then it goes all like really trippy, and I'm like, well, this ain't my like. It's good. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's very like weird.
It's alright.
Yeah, that's my recommendation.
Anyone else?
One more. 1917.
Say again.
Go on.
1917. Sorry,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
That's 2019, isn't it? Oh no, that came in just about 2020.
That came for the release window in January.
So
2020.
Sorry, John. Say that again.
Fair enough.
I watched a film recently. It's part of a trilogy, and I liked it so much I ended up having to watch all 3 films.
Okay.
Spanish, about a cop chasing a serial killer out in a country town. The first film is called The Invisible Guardian. I really enjoyed all three of those films.
Okay.
Nice.
It's a great story spread over 3 films. It's apparently based on a set of books. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Okay. I think you guys would enjoy it. There's no time travel in it. Like that Korean series Tunnel is very good if you like things like that. But as films, these 3 films, they does tell a very, very good story. It's about a cult.
I've got it to my list.
A cop. She used to work for the FBI in America. She's Spanish, so she lives in Spain now, and she gets sent to this village that turns out she used to live in originally. Her mum and that still live in there, and it's her job to try and track down this serial killer and this cult. It's very, very good.
Okay,
interesting.
So look up, the first called Invisible Guardian, and then you'll see that it's part of a 3 set of films. So
trilogy. Yeah.
LG, anything?
Cool. No, nothing. I don't think I've seen enough. Like I'm hearing all this. I've made a list of quite a few, but like I said, I don't think there was nothing. I don't think I've seen enough to know that much. Or nothing really tickled my fancy, to be honest. I didn't really enjoy a lot, like especially Tenet.
You don't want to, because it wasn't on the list. Did you want to honourable mention Tenet?
No, don't you dare. I just want to say that's the shittest film I've seen like all year, man.
Wow.
I just wasted. I can't believe I've watched it.
That.
For a shittest film, why did you decide to watch it the second time then? What an idiot.
Yeah. I gave it a chance. Yeah, I was like, okay, now hold on, maybe I missed something. But no, I'm like, no, this is complete crap. Like complete crap. I'm not even gonna it shouldn't. I would never rate it highly. And I just want to say, you guys, like anyone who thinks it's in the top, they could think it's a decent film, but if you think it's a really good film, I think you're lying to yourself.
Go cool.
This is becoming a Tenet episode.
Go cool. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Did he go?
Right, guys, we're gonna say goodbye to one another. Thank you again for being on the show, and appreciate you doing this over the webinar. It's been very good.
Anytime.
Very good.
Anytime, man.
Right, guys.
I'm glad.
So if you,
I'm glad we got to do this again.
Definitely. So if you guys enjoyed what you listened to, follow us on Facebook at the M.T.V.B podcast, or on Instagram at M.T.V.B podcast, and subscribe to be notified when for future episodes are available. This is Gokul, John, Big Gal, Little Gal, and Ant-Man signing off.
Tenet doesn't suck.
To that shit.